Everybody, welcome on back. It's the You Gotta Try This podcast with me, Large, and also with Ian. So I eat and I talk, and Ian does everything else. In case you're wondering, I still get on comments, Ian, who's Ian? I still get that. And I know that I still get it like I'm this real popular guy. But even people who are watching a video for the first time, who cares? Like, you know what I mean? It's crazy. But either way, so Ian's the guy who's in here doing everything outside of what little I do. What's up?
I'm your long lost son who was killed, or you lost in an accident or something.
Yeah.
Or whatever stories you make up.
I've been taking so much, dramatic license with it. I think I'd said, yeah, you were a cousin who had died in a car crash, and I speak to your ghost. I want to thank the cowboy, Kent Rollins, coming in last week. It's different. Like, we have another food influencer type guy in today. His name is Matt Groark. Matt Groark goes by the nom de plume, or the AKA the meat teacher, because he teaches for a living. He used to teach like phys ed and coach a couple of teams. And then he started doing some food content on social media before the pandemic, then ramped it up during the pandemic. So the school that he works for actually pivoted his role from being a phys ed teacher to being a culinary teacher, sort of like what the old home ec was, which I think they really should bring back, because I have a bunch of kids who had gone through the school system and never learned to like bounce a checkbook or do anything like that. So I think that home ec culinary school culinary class offerings in high school are priceless for these kids. Either way, this guy is a grilling expert. He's not classically trained at all. I think he's as handsome as all get out. And he's going to come in and talk to us about why he has millions upon millions of followers and I don't. Which makes me angry at times,
Not yet.
Yeah, not yet. But like I had said last week, the cowboy Kent Rollins was on, and I felt a little bit emasculated with it, but I thought we had some fun with it because Kent is a man's man. And he had said casually during our talk that he was going to send me some stuff, because I was asking him what type of merch or products are attached to his name, because some people will attach anything to their name, but he seemed like he held himself to a higher standard. So he said, you know what, Large, I'll send you a package. I don't think I'm doing him a disservice with that impersonation. And then sure enough, the package just came. So I'm unboxing for people who are not watching this on YouTube. Shame on you. By the way, watching, subscribing, leaving 5-star reviews, leave a question with your 5-star reviews. We'll get to one of them in a second, is what makes this stay afloat. Liking our stuff, following us on social media, subscribing wherever you get your podcasts and stuff really moves the needle. So for everyone who's done it, and Ian has had a tremendous amount of growth with this platform since we started it. So I appreciate everything. I got a handwritten letter from Cowboy Kent Rollins, and it was so nice to visit with you. Happy trails. Not a lot of people can put Happy Trails as their fucking moniker and mean it, but that guy is going to be out on the trail at some point. And this is a very heavy package. So he sent me 2 comfort food the cowboy way and a taste of cowboy ranch recipes from the trail. So I got 2 Cowboy Kent Rollins cookbooks. I shouldn't just say Kent because his wife was absolutely lovely. And then some rubs. He gave me a rib rub seasoning. He gave me the original seasoning, so original and rib rub. Ian, I'm sure you're going to take one of these. He gave me an apron. Can I confess? I can get an apron. Oh, this one's kind of cool. I've been getting aprons my whole life. Can't get full on fancy, it says. I've been getting aprons my whole life. Never wear them. Never wear aprons. That's why my T-shirts all look like Rorschach tests. This is his spatula. This is the Kent Rollins cowboy spatula. So he uses it on a grill, and so it's just a wooden spatula. It looks like almost a shoehorn type thing. Oh, you know what it looks like? An ice scraper. Looks like a wooden ice scraper that you would, and I've seen him use this on videos countless times. This is a beauty. This is solid gold. If you guys don't mind, I'm going to continue unpacking this. Some more rub. That's the mesquite smoke seasoning. And then in here, I'm hoping to God what's in here is one of the things that I basically was going to order on my own, because I did go to his website before he came on the show, and there it is. This is it. I told you about it before we got on. The sweet and spicy mustard. He put this on the Diablo sandwich that he recreated from Cannonball Run. And I'm going to absolutely bathe in that. And then gave me the Red River Mud barbecue sauce medium and some Hatch Green Chili Chipotle Cowboy Chutney medium. That's a hell of a package. That's what she said. But either way, so Kent Rollins, thank you so much for carving out some time for us. We really appreciate it. And on top of it, thanks for bringing gifts. We're hoping that maybe Matt Groark brings us some gifts today. I love gifts. I don't know. So I fucking love gifts. Before we get going, I'm going to have a little bit of a drink. This podcast is sponsored in part by Pepsi. Pepsi, I've been doing a couple of food reviews at places where I've been lucky enough to run into Pepsi, including this last one we just did at the Roman Inn in Englewood, New Jersey. Ian cuts all the videos, and I had mentioned in the voiceover that Englewood, New Jersey is the home of John Travolta. So you popped up that big picture of John Travolta, which I assume, but I consider this Pepsi the John Travolta of soft drinks. Always delivers, makes everything a little bit better. I'm a big John Travolta fan. Flavors pop. I think, if you look at the slogan for this, good food deserves Pepsi, I agree with that. There's something about this cola that just kind of primes the pumps for having delicious food. So it's something that I ask for by name when I'm going to a restaurant, or something that I seek out whenever I'm at a bodega or something like that. It's just the one for me. So everything that you have that you spend a lot of time cooking, don't skimp on what you're putting in your mouth as a drink. Pepsi is the choice for me. Go out and get some for yourself. I was actually parched. That actually came around just at the right time. How you doing, Ian? Everything good?
All good.
Yeah.
Looking for new apartments.
Yeah, that's terrible, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a nightmare. And have you come down to one or two that you're definitely going to do or no?
No, just getting started.
Okay. You're nowhere near the end of this process.
No, but I am looking at our map, or you got to try this map. And I'm trying to pick a place that's densely populated with places that you've tried.
Really?
I want to be surrounded by good food.
And right now, that's got to be East Village or West Village. For the most part, for us, I think that's probably going to be it.
You told me a DM that you got.
Yeah, so we'd mentioned at the top of the show that if you send in some questions on your reviews, we try to get to one every show. And this show is going to be no different than that. So I'd gotten one from someone. Do you happen to have it handy? In case you're wondering what I'm fumbling through, Ian, I just sent myself something from my notes. And I totally lost it in my email. Which is something that I would probably do in a heartbeat. Maybe I must have deleted it.
I have it, but this DM is from Steve, Dominic, Steven on Instagram. We appreciate it.
Okay.
However, I will say we do want these questions submitted under the Apple Podcast in a 5-star review, or under the YouTube in a comment, under the Spotify episode in a comment. We are going to answer this one because it is a good question. But Steve, next time, send this and through the right channels, please.
What a hardo Ian is. He's become the enforcer. I love this. So the reason that we're putting this in is because I'd gotten this as a DM and I absolutely loved it. Steven says, Large, I have a family tradition with pizza. Growing up, when we had pizza at home, we would have the butter tray out. After finishing a slice of pizza, it was commonplace in my family to slap some butter on the crust and eat it like a breadstick. Fucking delicious. I didn't realize how strange this was until I met my wife in college, and she was in awe/disgusted. Your thoughts on this? Much better than heinous people who use ranch. A little bit of a shot at ranch dressing there, and I got to be honest, I don't dip we call them pizza bones in the house. I don't know, it used to be something we would say with the kids, pizza bones and stuff. Marinara is the go-to for most people. A lot of people do ranch. I love blue cheese because a lot of times when we do pizza, we also do wings, but I'm a butter guy, and this is brilliant. If you want my thoughts on this, Steven, my thoughts on this is I'm going to do it. I keep this big log. I got this log of Amish butter. I just got another one. I bought it yesterday. I busted it out for the first time today. We did a sandwich of the month, which was this chicken fried mortadella Caesar salad sandwich that I had made. And I did it on just a regular Kaiser roll, old school Kaiser roll. So this morning I made myself a cup of tea. I was getting ready to get the hell out of there. I was like, let me do a buttered roll because I had another Kaiser roll. I put an ungodly amount of this Amish butter, and then I finished it with a little bit of salt. Even though the butter is salted, I needed something a little extra just to, push me further towards the grave. And it was delightful. Just having an old school buttered roll. That's a Tim Duncan for me. There's so many goddamn Tim Duncans. So the idea of maybe even those pizza crusts still being warm, and you know how the pizza crust, you can kind of split them a little bit. You split them so you have almost like a small little hot dog bun, and maybe put a little bit of softened butter on the inside. I'm all about this, Stephen. This is the first time I had gone. I had a good buddy, Jim Tamuccio, and he and I worked on the floor of the American Stock Exchange together, along with his older brother, Mike, who unfortunately passed at 9/11. But I'd gone to Jim's parents' house for dinner once, and Mr. Tamuccio, old school Italian guy, and Mrs. Tamuccio, beautiful woman. She was, I believe, at least half Irish, and they were having a Sunday sauce, and I had gone to their house for dinner, and Mr. Tamuccio had showed up after everybody else. So we were already sitting down eating. And when he sat down, he saw this big spread that his wife had put out. And he'd said to his wife, he's like, "What's up with the butter?" Like, he said, "Why is there butter on the table next to the Italian bread?" And, Italians, for the most part, don't like to butter their Italian bread and then dip it in a sauce, because obviously it gets a little messy. Irish people love that. We live in a butter mess. So as he's saying this to his wife, "Why is the butter out?" That's when I noticed I was the only one that was slathering my Italian bread with it. So I'm a butter addict. Stephen, this is life-changing to me. So I'm going to do it. So if you want my thoughts, I'm a blue cheese guy, not a ranch guy for dipping my pizza bones. But from now on out, or at least I'm going to try it next time I have pizza, I'm going to go to butter route. You know what? I'll talk about this now too, because you mentioned it when we first got in. Everybody's talking about this fucking ice cream sandwich. Everyone loves it. So where was it from?
It's the World Baseball Classic in Tokyo.
Oh yeah.
It's, I believe, the Tokyo Dome.
Uh-huh.
It's the sandwich is shaped like it. And people seem to think that the Japanese people have the upper hand culturally when it comes to the ice cream sandwich now.
Yeah, they're lapping us in ice cream sandwich technology. I'll try it. I haven't sought it out yet. I almost said the word seeked. I haven't sought it out yet. I had seen that Robbie Foxy comes out of the woodworks every now and again. He just tries bangers. He did the prime rib sandwich at Italy, and that post, for all intents and purposes, went viral. We throw around the word viral quite a bit, but that thing went viral. And then I don't know how this other one did, but I'd seen that Rob Fox, who wasn't at the World Baseball Classic, so he'd gotten one that was pretty close to it. I think there was chocolate on the inside. It looked good. It didn't seem like it was an earth-shattering thing to me. So maybe I'll find one and I'll do it. Maybe I won't. Who the hell knows? We got Matt Groark coming up in just a couple of seconds, but we might as well talk about a couple of things. I thought there was an adorable little, when you talk about the World Baseball thing, there's an Italian baseball coach for the team Italy, and inside the dugout for them, they have an espresso machine. Did you see that? So right next to a big bucket of sunflower seeds and the phone to call the bullpen, there's just this little espresso machine, and the Italian batting coach, who looks like he's an Italian batting coach, you can tell he's Italian right away, is just over there making himself a nice little espresso. I think that's extremely gentlemanly. Not that baseball needs to be more gentlemanly, but it certainly looks absolutely delicious and sensible to me. I'm staying on ice cream because I had seen, and I had sent to you the other day, Ian, there's an ice cream out there that they're now selling. It's in the Netherlands, and it's made with painkillers. So you can go to some ice cream parlor in the Netherlands and get a paracetamol HTP 500 milligrams per serving. It's a vanilla ice cream that essentially has crushed up painkillers in it. I don't know how I feel about that, but I think it's something that I would try. Ice cream headaches are something that I suffer from because I have no restraint when I'm just throwing down ice cream like someone's about to take it away from me. So maybe this kind of nips it in the bud. I suffer from a little bit of back and neck pain, got some arthritis in the knees. Maybe when I go to the freezer late at night as I'm about to watch, I don't know, I'm watching this new young Sherlock Holmes thing, I can have some ice cream with a painkiller in it. So as much as I sound like I may be on the fence for it, if they start to sell this in the United States, and I don't think they ever will, consider me one of the guys that will be first up to see it. Anything else you want to talk about before we get out of here?
Yeah. I mean, it was a little bit ago now, but we have to talk about the CEOs of all these fast food companies like attempting to eat a burger like a regular human. Mm-hmm. It's very funny. They called it the Burger Mogging Wars. The CEO Burger Mogging Wars.
I know that Fights had done one where he had put a bunch together.
For Out of Order, they did a sketch based on it. Yeah,
they kind of put together the Crave case of the White Castles, and he did it all at one time to make fun of him. These guys, they don't seem comfortable in front of a camera. I think that's at the end of the day, and coming from the business world where I came from, for better or for worse, I saw so many people that were able to get up in a meeting and absolutely command the room, like absolutely command the room. And then when you get them out in a social situation, they were social misfits. And I think that's the case here. Also, there's a small, underlying story that what they're selling is poison, right? And that's what it comes out as when you see these guys take like bird bites off of these things that they're asking you to jump into with both feet. So there seems to be a little bit of a hypocrisy there. I was a little bit in my cups on Saturday night, and I ordered one of the big arch burgers from McDonald's, and I'd gotten it. And as I'm sitting there about to take my first bite, right away I went back to the CEO. So all that I can say is perhaps they're playing chess, because if you just gave me the McDonald's CEO sitting down trying this new burger, the Big Arch, and he takes a healthy bite, says, go and get one today, there's no way I would know about that story. There's no way that I would see this clip. But by this guy taking one of these pecks from it, it's gone absolutely. You think it's one of those ones where they purposely go viral for that? Or is that not? Because that was a comically small bite.
I think you might be right, because the amount of people in the room that watched that video, edited that video, clicked post on that video.
You wouldn't let me put that out. You would, if I was to say, hey, sandwich of the month, and listen, Ian does sandwiches of the month with me if we have like other people involved with it. For the most part, you can tell which ones I do by myself because there's only sound in one ear, right? So but if Ian and I were doing a sandwich of the month and I took a bite, and I don't, when I do a sandwich of the month, I nearly choke on everything. I just want to get it in my maw. But you would never let it come out. Never let it come out.
I'd tell you to take another bite and make it look like you like it.
Yeah, you'd be like, hey, asshole, how are you telling people to fucking try that? You got to try this, and you not trying it. You told me the other day I had eaten something and I had a frown on my face, and it was because I was partially choking at the time because I'm eating so goddamn fast. So that's what this is. The PSYOP, is that what you were saying? This is a fucking psyop. If you don't fucking believe that McDonald's is smart enough to psyop you to have it on every fucking news show and every stupid podcast when they're fooling you into thinking what you're eating is chicken and beef, then you're a fucking idiot. Correct? This is so. I can't be the first to break this open, but that's how I feel about it. This is theater. This is theater. This guy is running a multi-billion-dollar international operation with 1,000 people around him, making sure that his fucking shirt doesn't send any political signals, all that kind of stuff. You think that there's any fucking coincidences left in the advertising world when we get to the to the pinnacle of advertising dollars, which is McDonald's? No, it's bullshit. It's 100% all bullshit. Do you agree or not?
I totally agree. And I really hadn't thought of that angle. I think everyone has just sort of been having fun with it, but I think you're right. There's just no way that video gets out like past their marketing department without them purposely being like, yeah, we're going to get a lot of clicks and comments with this tiny bite.
It's fucking brilliant. It's brilliant. And it ends it right there, because if somebody else does it to get that same virality, they'll be called out. Oh, McDonald's already, come on, stop. You're pretend. And other CEOs have gotten up there, tried to take real bites and stuff like that. I don't know which ones did. Maybe the guy from Wendy's, I think I may have seen. McDonald's got the headline here, right?
Yeah. There was. I saw one other guy. It was the CEO pulled up through the drive-through in like a pickup truck. It's like very
roots,
very heavy-handed of like the common man.
Yeah,
which also plays. But anyways, on the topic of McDonald's, though, I had another story.
Go. Why did I get so angry though? There, did I seem like I got angry?
I think it's passion.
Okay, thanks. All right, give me another McDonald's question.
Do you know that, and obviously this is just projections, not actually reality, but at the current pace, the cheapest McDonald's hamburger will cost more than the cheapest MacBook laptop by the year 2081. Laptops are just getting cheaper and cheaper.
Yes.
Burgers are just getting more expensive. And on the current pace that it's going in 2081, there will be a flippening.
Yeah. And also, but the flippening, but there's also, by 2081, laptops will be iPads, right? Laptops will be iPods, everything that we need in our laptop will be surgically implanted inside your eyeball. So it's right. I can't believe, because again, I had ordered that big arch in a moment of weakness, but I don't do fast food a lot. And I came out of retirement to do 6 fish sandwiches, 5 plus the follow-up one at Arby's. By the way, Arby's is now, remember when I had that revelation about Texas Roadhouse and I said it seemed to be the best out of that class? I only had 2 fish sandwiches when I went to Arby's, and I got a little thing of that horsey sauce. I didn't even get the curly fries. I dipped the part of the bun in the horsey sauce because I remember having it. The horsey sauce is good. Like, I will go back to Arby's. If I have the opportunity, and particularly traveling for NASCAR, we get put in a lot of towns that are primarily fast food. And I will go back to it's a very, very interesting menu. Very, very interesting menu. So I don't mind it. But my point is, as I'm going through these fast food places, did you want to say something real quick? I didn't mean to. Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, there's one other place. I hope you're not sick of fish sandwiches.
Culver's?
But it seems that you haven't done a full report on the industry. Or what do you call it when you sent me to the strip club for Barstool?
Channel checks.
A channel check.
Yeah.
You haven't done a full channel check until you have the Culver's fish sandwich.
By the way, Ian glances over that. He had done Barstool Finance with myself and Tyler Morin, and we used to have a weekly finance show called The Family Office. When Tyler had left, we'd stopped doing the show, whatever. But one of the things that we did, we invested in certain stocks. Tyler and I had put some money together, and we had like a small fund that we invested in. And one of the ones that I wanted to invest in was Rick's Cabaret. And Rick's Cabaret was a beast for us. Stocked it very, very well while we were there. I think the ticker is RICK. And the CEO came on the show, and he's crazy. He has like strippers come out with their, EBITDA numbers and whatnot. And so the guy's like, thank you so much for the shine on the show. We're not taken seriously by a lot of other financial publications and podcasts and shows. So it's nice that, to come on and be able to talk business and have a little bit of fun. So the CEO, who again is a wild card, the guy is the kind of guy you want to go out with all night, said, you guys are invited to one of our Rick's Cabarets. Just come in and do some channel checks on your own. Tyler and I happily married. So Ian was still in college. So we said, where is there one near, where did you go again?
St. Louis.
St. Louis. Where's the closest one to St. Louis, which I believe that one was in Illinois.
It was across the river.
Yeah. So Ian goes as our intern. He's an unpaid intern at the time. He goes, he cuts the pockets out of his sweatpants and he goes to the strip club. That's what he likes, the easy access. So, he calls up the CEO and says, is it okay if I bring 9 of my friends? Did you bring 9 fucking kids or something like that?
Yeah, we had a crew, we had tables, we had bottles.
Yeah.
They treated us like royalty. They treated me like I was Dave, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because they heard Barstool and they were like, oh.
Yeah.
They didn't know it was like, or maybe they did know it was some intern.
Yeah.
But
this guy from Rick's Cabaret, they go in, is this a finance podcast now? They go in and they go to these mom and pop strip clubs.
You got to try this.
Yeah. That's basically what he does. He goes and he buys them. He buys them for like pennies on the dollar and then kind of puts in almost like a prefab, not like he drops a new building in, but he has his own way of conducting strip club businesses that works. So he's able to then just kind of inject his model into these places that he buys on the cheap. And it's worked out pretty well for him. I think he was starting his own OnlyFans just for strippers and all that stuff. It was fascinating. I got to go back and watch some of that. But my point, what was my point?
The point was that
I talk about strippers. I lost the fucking lead.
The point was you sent me to do a channel check.
That's right.
Because we were investing in Rick's. We wanted to see boots on the ground, how the operation was doing.
I like you saying boots on the ground, by the way. That's me. Go.
And I just wanted, and I brought up channel checks because
correct.
You're channel checking the fried fish, fast food fried fish industry.
I had no idea that fried fish sandwiches at fast food places are almost $6 a piece. Honestly, what were you expecting, Large? I was expecting to go into McDonald's and get a fillet of fish for $2.50. And that was less than half of what it was. I was expecting to go into Arby's and, the big fish, I was expecting to pay $3.50 and I paid $6. These are little things, I know, but it's getting out of hand. Chris Clemmer, who works here, he just did his Chat Eliminator show and he does a couple other things here at Barstool, including the rat race, and he was on our show. He used to work at McDonald's and he posted like the old value meal thing, and everyone was like reminiscing to where $2.99 you're able to get a Big Mac, a fry, and a drink. I followed up with one where all the competitors also had the same $2.99 for the meal. And I guess I'm stuck there. I'm stuck in whatever 80s, 90s fast food hellscape that I grew up in. And I'm floored at how expensive it is. So as like to your point, as the price of laptops is going to do this, the price of fast food burgers is going to do that. And then we're going to go contango. We're going to flip the script, and it's going to be more expensive, which it's inevitable. Yeah.
So you've been tasting a lot of fast food.
I hate it.
There's this job that just opened. Wendy's is hiring a chief tasting officer to try like the new creations that they make in the kitchen, whatnot. Pays $100,000 a year.
That's crazy.
And I mean, obviously you have other responsibilities, but you'd be perfect for this job. Or maybe not, because you really don't like fast food that much. Maybe you got to find someone who's a real fast food head to be the judge of what's a good fast food item.
I think they probably would want more of me in there. There are kids coming out of college and who don't have jobs, right? I mean, there's so many. So it'd be like, we'll do a Wendy's fast food taster. First of all, there is a line around the planet to be paid $100,000 to taste fast food. So you would have to have some degree of something on your resume that says that you can do it. I think they would want me. I would think they'd want somebody with a discerning eye, somebody that would be critical of what they're putting into the clamshell boxes and stuff. I think I might be perfect for that. I will not apply for it, but I think I would be perfect for it.
And as I'm reading through the flyer, you actually fit the credentials. So title, chief tasting officer, company, right. Wendy's, obviously pay $100,000. Job type, dream. It's a dream job.
It is an absolute dream job.
That's the job type.
Yeah.
Location, remote, perfect. Travel, light, mostly to your local Wendy's and or the couch.
Really?
That's great.
Maybe I will apply.
Starts ASAP, and the credentials requires a human mouth, a pulse, opinions, creativity, and taste.
And now just think about the Wendy's psyop with this. They're willing to pay somebody for 1 year $100,000, and it's whipped around like crazy. You sent it to me. Annie sent it to me. My son sent it to me. My wife applied to drive the Wienermobile. Like that's Oscar Mayer had put out something where you could become one of the Wienermobile drivers. My wife is an expert driver. She's very good. She used to do a lot of stuff with cars when she was a kid. So she knows everything about cars. We've been together 27 years. I have never bought a car since I met Annie. She does it all. Walk into a dealership, right away the salesman comes over to me. I'm like, nope, it's all her. So she applied for that thing, which I thought was a wonderful marketing campaign for Oscar Mayer. And this is the same way. There'll be one, and the person who gets it will get a ton of press and a ton of spotlight, and it really brings a nice little shine to Wendy's. So fast food is at that inflection point right now where they have to trick people into because there's so much parity. What's the difference between a burger from this place, and this place? And even though the majority of people maybe watching this show will die on that hill, oh, the McDonald's cheeseburger is far superior than the Wendy's single square patties for round daddies. That was what I wanted to do with them. In general, it's all the same shit. So in order to do any kind of differentiation, they have to publicly put out a job posting where you get $100,000 a year to be a fat bastard, and then put out another, clip where the CEO takes a bird bite of it. We're stuck in this matrix, and we're spinning uncontrollably, and I don't know when we're going to get out of it. You got anything else for me?
Yeah, a couple cereal related stories.
Okay. We're hitting them here. So we got a Matt Groark coming up in just 1 second, but we're going to get a couple of topics out of our way. What do you got, Ian? Give them to me, brother.
Have you seen this thing from Oreo, this milk dispenser?
Oh, I did see that. Looks like a Keurig machine, kind of, right? Yeah.
And I don't know. It's just a little thing that I thought that I kind of need. I would love a milk dispenser. I don't know if you've ever been to like a cafeteria where they have a milk dispenser and it comes out all bubbly.
Yeah.
Nothing better than a little bubbly milk.
Let me ask you something. If you pour milk from a dispenser into a cup, right? And it gets bubbly on the top, and those bubbles start to collect in the middle. What does that mean to you now?
I can't tell the weather.
There's a storm coming.
No,
That's the barometric pressure.
The way I predict,
Cowboy Kent Rollins.
I use my religion to predict the weather.
Okay, I hear you, my man. Yeah, Oreo unveiled a mini fridge that pours milk straight into your cereal bowl for National Cereal Day. It's a good idea. I think it's one of those things that would be pretty cool in a dorm. Like, you just kind of bring it in there. I'm assuming that you pop a half a gallon in, and then there's some sort of receptacle. They give you a pretty crude picture of it, so you really can't tell. I just never think that Oreo and cereal are one-to-one. Oreo cereal to me sounds like it'd be potentially awful. I'm a mega stuff. I like the stuff inside of Oreos, and I just read that it's mostly like microplastics and shoe leather or something that you don't want to have in your body. And I don't care. If I have a couple of Oreos a couple of times a year, it's not a huge deal. So it's not a 1-for-1 for me, Oreo and cereal dispenser. So if Cheerios, very similar sounding, and this, I would probably be more excited about it for some reason. But for this, it just seems like they're swimming in a pool that they don't have the right to be in. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
The real reason I brought up cereal, though, is because you sent me this.
What did I send you?
You sent me this question.
Oh, yeah.
And I honestly have no idea where you're going to go with this, so I'm interested. But you are being hunted by 10 people for a 24-hour period. Your only ally is a 6-foot version of a cereal mascot of your choice. Which cereal are you choosing?
I'd seen this on a podcast.
Shout out to Breaking the Iceberg.
Breaking the Iceberg. I don't know these guys at all. I don't even know how big they are, but hopefully they're huge. Well, not huge, at least on social, but maybe they will get bigger. Breaking the Iceberg, the podcast where we answer the silliest icebreaker questions you've ever heard. So I guess it is not necessarily a food podcast, but just two dudes just kind of shooting the shit about silly questions. I love that idea. So Breaking the Iceberg is the podcast. Follow them if you can. I'm being hunted by 10 people, and their intentions are to kill me, but they have only 24 hours to do it. I don't know what the makeup is, men and women, if it's 5 and 5. I don't know what the physicality of these 10 people are, if they're all built like, Reacher, or if they're all built like me. I don't know anything about it, but there are 10 people hunting you for a single day. You get one mascot from a cereal box, but that mascot is 6 feet tall. They had asked this, and right away people went to Tony the Tiger because tigers are so, vicious. I think you're doing that a disservice because I believe tigers are actually longer than 6 feet. So you're actually miniaturizing that tiger. And I don't know if a tiger can take on 10 people at a time, or if the tiger is mauling an extremely respectable 6 people, do the other 4 do an end around and get to me? So somebody's like, oh, well, what about Captain Crunch? You'd have a 6-foot Captain Crunch. So he's a swashbuckler. You can kind of get in there. Plus, you can hop on a ship and go somewhere and maybe. But then the semantics are, why don't the 10 people have a ship? And I started going down Toucan Sam. 6 foot Toucan Sam can grab you and fly you into the air for 24 hours. No, he can't. I'm 265 pounds right now, maybe 270. I let myself go. A 6 foot toucan, I don't think gets me Count Chocula. Having a 6 foot vampire, I think we're getting closer here, Count Chocula. But you know what the answer is? It's the leprechaun from Lucky Charms. Lucky the leprechaun, first of all, if he's an Irish guy, and now all of a sudden he's 6 foot for the first time, he's going to be able to handle himself. But he's made his whole fucking career hiding. That's what he does better. Leprechauns hide better than anybody else. And he has some sort of magic. He's magically delicious. It's in his tagline. So to the guys at Breaking the Iceberg, I don't know if they came up with this, eventually on their own, but this is the thing that immediately leapt to my mind while I was taking a dump and listening to them. Lucky the Leprechaun from Lucky Charms is my pick, and I don't think anyone can find a better one. I'll leave it up to my listeners to find me a better 6 foot mascot to protect you from 10 people hunting you for 24 hours than Lucky the Leprechaun, who will have us sitting comfortably at the other side of the rainbow where nobody can ever fucking catch us. That's it for us. All right, listen, we're going to go right now to the meat teacher. The meat teacher, Matt Groark. He got done with school. He hopped on a train and he came up to New York. He's somewhere like kind of Southwest Jersey. Came up to have a little conversation with us. I think you're going to love it. So right now, let's go to the meat teacher. Class is in session. All right. So as promised, I'm sitting here with the meat teacher, Matt Groark. You may know him. Groark Boys Barbecue has a bunch of other balls in the air, which we're going to talk about in just a second. But one of the main things that I'm going to talk about from the onset is that he brought me a copy of the Meat Teacher Cookbook, the ultimate backyard barbecue guide for an A+ in pit mastery. I think it's too much. I think it's too much for a fucking title.
Too long.
Excuse me. I'm going to try to keep the cursing at the minimum. Gentleman's a teacher, by the way. It's too long. Right away, I would send this back, be like, cut this in half or whatever. But I don't know. Can I say that stuff when a guy's sitting right next to me?
It's all good.
It's all Matt Groark. Matt Groark, if you don't know him, shame on you. He's got a much bigger following than anybody who's listening to this podcast right now, including myself. And the deal is that he's a high school teacher.
Yep.
Well, yeah. So a high school teacher somewhere in New Jersey at an undisclosed location. And on top of it, he's just this viral sensation. Majority of his stuff is manly cooking, but now he's doing all this stuff with these kitchen hacks and, the stuff that you see on TikTok that you're wondering if they work because you don't trust the person who posted them. So you do it yourself. And so I think with the size of your following, people like, oh yeah, I'll replace eggs with applesauce in my Dunkin' Hines cake and everything. Either way, it's Matt Groark. I really appreciate you coming in. Welcome aboard. How are you?
So I appreciate it, man.
Yeah. I think there's a chance that after however much we spend here, we'll be closer friends than we were a couple of minutes ago.
100%.
Because I never fucking met you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, this is awesome.
Yeah,
I told you earlier coming in here, I'm pumped.
Yeah. And every time
fully forever.
We try to do midday stuff, just like everybody. And if we do some early morning stuff, we do that every now and again. Ian's kind of busy in the mornings more so than me, particularly with Roan.com. So most of our stuff is around noon. And so when I tell that to potential guests, they jump at it. They're like, oh, that's great. Yeah, you can do that. He's like, I got to teach, right? I got to teach.
And all these content creators, they don't wake up till fucking 11 o'clock.
Yeah, exactly. He just cursed. That's me.
Making recipes. And
please don't get on him for this. I'm stressing that because I know how difficult high school kids can be when you kind of fall off a little bit. I was coaching biddy basketball in Ridgewood, New Jersey, and my son, a couple of my son's friends were on it, and we were a pretty competitive team, and something had happened, and I dropped an F-bomb on the court when I was cursing, and one of the kids from the other team told on me to the ref.
I blame it on my coaching career.
Oh, is that it?
That's the language I blame on my coaching career.
Give me the background.
So I've been a teacher since 2003. So I'm in my 23rd year teaching. Okay. 20 years health and phys ed. Coached basketball my whole life, played and coached up until my wife became my sugar mama and got an administrative job and eventually became a principal. That was, now the past 3 years I've been teaching culinary. We had a culinary phys ed to culinary.
Wow.
We had a culinary teacher quit like in August, 2 weeks before the school year. And with everything I was doing, a few years ago with the growth, with the food, with the TV show and all that stuff, my principal called me on like a evening Tuesday in like August, and I instantly saw I've worked with him for 20 years, and I saw his name on my phone, and I'm like, oh shit, what did I do?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. You can be 48, and when you get a call from the principal, you still shit your pants.
Yeah.
I'm like, what did I do wrong? And he asked me if I ever thought about teaching culinary, and my wife's in the background screaming, yes, because I was miserable.
Right.
Miserable. Go try and get high school kids, post COVID to get up and do anything physical.
Yeah.
Anything. It's like pulling teeth. So I was borderline done. I was looking for a way out, looking for, a way to get out of teaching and do this whole thing full time. And then blessed with the opportunity to move to culinary. And now it's like the best of both worlds. So
are you trained at all?
No.
Okay. So not classically trained?
YouTube. I've been to barbecue schools, barbecue classes. My first experience with barbecue was Myron Mixon. Probably the world's winningest barbecue person, right?
Legend.
My wife, for my 40th birthday, 8 years ago, sent me to Unadilla, Georgia, on my own, by myself, to go to barbecue school for 4 days with Myron Mixon and his whole crew. Wow. So talk about a friggin' aces of a birthday present.
That's awesome.
Wife.
Yeah.
Go by yourself and just cook meat and drink beer and hang out with a bunch of people cooking meat. The best thing ever.
It's a good woman.
But I got hooked. That was it. It was after I got home from that, I was done. I was all in and went from there and really started following all the YouTube people, all the barbecue stuff. And that was the start of like the social media aspect.
That's when it started?
That's when the social media stuff started.
What got you to that next level?
2017, 18, right?
Okay.
I was in the hundreds of thousands before COVID. I think a lot of the influencers and food people that you talk to now will say that they started like sometime between 2021. Mm-hmm. If you get people saying they had hundreds of thousands, millions of followers early, it's those OG YouTubers and all that stuff, even though a lot of those were born from COVID too. But tailgating, man, is what got me. So 2003, same year I started teaching, my dad surprised me and my brothers with season tickets for the Eagles. And I kind of adopted the food for tailgates. Sure. So I was up at 5 a.m. on Sundays, packing the cooler, making sure everything was set, food, prepping the night before, setting the menu, knowing what we're having when we get there, bacon, egg, and cheese on the griddle. We did a lunch course, then we do steaks, ribs, all that stuff leading up to game time. And I just controlled the whole cooking part of it from 2003 until now. I mean, now I have one of the biggest tailgates in Philly.
Really?
As we sit in 2023, the Hungry Dogs tailgate. Yeah,
really?
At the link. Friggin' insane.
I was kind of dragging out that really thinking that you'd be like, Lord, stop by one of these times.
Dude.
But that never came.
Listen,
I would never do it now because you didn't offer it organically. But so I argue if I was to grow my hair out and get into shape, I'm arguably better looking than you, right? Everything.
The facial features are on point.
They're pretty nice.
And the beard, if you continue to grow, it looks like it'll
just
come
bring it out just a little bit.
Fuller than mine.
But what is it, do you think, that differentiates you for everybody once you're following? Honestly, like I think it's one of those things that I think when we were talking to Cowboy Rollins, it was sort of that time he beat up on Bobby Flay in Throwdown. There's all those little, we were just talking about Kevin Speece.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell, or with like Novo, with the rotisserie chickens and making up motion and all that kind of stuff. Like that was it. Was there that one where somebody showed up to your tailgate and then all of a sudden, that's it, you were the guy?
So I think the thing in common with all of those names that you just threw out is they're so insanely relatable. Yeah. Right. You watch them and they're like the everyman. They're out there. Novo's just out there popping in places, eating food and letting you know how he thinks. And we were just talking about how authentic he is and how someone you just trust. Same with Rollins. Like, that guy, you want him to cook for you.
Yes.
You watch him and you're like, I want to eat his food. Speece, just friggin' hilarious.
He's very funny dude. Yeah.
And I mean, I told you I got into him because he was posting basketball clips.
Which I didn't know. I never spoke to him about it. I didn't know that. I've seen him do like some parodies of, I don't know, like NBA stuff. And I was like, I think this guy plays basketball. I had no idea that he was a baller.
You see him shoot a jump shot. He shoot one jump shot and you could tell he's
filthy.
That's all it takes.
Really?
Just look at one shot and you can see it. You're like, that guy could play.
I'm pretty sure whatever he thinks he could throw up that I could send down fucking throw it in a heartbeat. That's me. Right? You hear me?
We're doing this.
What's
5
a grill
on 5.
guy?
You got me.
Grill guy, you little hogs and dogs type thing. I am going to fuck you up. And I said I wasn't going to curse. So let's rewind just a little bit because you'd mentioned her twice since you sat down in the seat, but your lovely wife, Kristen.
Yeah.
She's a vegetarian.
She is.
Is she still a vegetarian?
Yep. She's been vegetarian since she was 13.
So when I got married to my wife is, I outkick my coverage and all that kind of stuff, same as you.
Yep.
My wife was a vegetarian. She came, one of her first dates, she came to my house, and my parents are from Ireland. My mom corns ribs, like people would normally corn beef, right? So it's the same process, but they're pork ribs. So when you boil a rib, it just turns like that gray, and the surface of it gets that oiliness from all the fat. And so she sat down at my parents' table with me and my two brothers. My mom puts out a big thing of ribs, and all you can smell is cabbage and ribs. And we're sitting there, and it's like as you're sucking it up, it's like that whole thing. She excused herself and threw up. And within a couple of years, I got her back on the fucking train. Like but one of the things that I see that you do is sometimes if she's doing like jackfruit instead of regular, whatever ground beef. By the way, he's a huge taco meat ground beef guy.
Yeah,
you'll bring over bacon fat onto her Impossible patties. You'll bring over a little bit of ground beef, and then you put it out there, and hundreds of thousands of people see you. My question is, how come she doesn't kill you in her sleep? Right? Like that's my question. I think
so because it's all staged.
Oh, it is okay. Yeah.
So that was one of those. I think going back to some of the other questions, right? Like authenticity, relatability, that's what grows, right? Virality can grow. Like you can grow by being viral. You can grow a following. But that following, that video, I put that video out, or that series of videos, getting my vegetarian wife to love the taste of meat without knowing she loves the taste of meat. And I did 30 of those videos and I grew every time I posted one. And she got a bunch of people were DMing her, telling her that I was doing it and to divorce me and that I'm a scumbag.
Really?
I swear to God. She was like, you got to stop doing these videos.
I DM'd her. I said, yeah. I was like, and by the way,
your husband's a scumbag.
If I was to grow my beard out, I told her, and I'll leave mine. And you know what I'm saying? But I just appreciate it so much. And the fact that she's in on the gag makes it even more special.
Did. So once she realized that this whole social media thing was going somewhere, she was like, all right, I'll deal with some DMs. Like, go ahead and keep doing it. And she would help me come up with ideas to do it, to kind of run the whole skit. And, I would grow and grow. But you don't grow... virality doesn't grow a community, right? And to really, really grow and have millions and millions of followers across platforms, you need a community. And that's where the consistency and dealing with videos that aren't viral, but continuing to pump them out day after day after day, that's what builds the community. And that's what I'm finding all over again in the last year, really, with my growth, is it's happening since I've really been letting people in on what I do at school, filming in my classroom during my lunch period. I'm making food or I'm baking cookies or I'm making eggs in the microwave with sour cream or cream cheese or whatever it was I did. Just little hacks that I've seen around, the internet. I'm letting people into my classroom. So now they're like, wait, you're a teacher? And there's people watching me that never knew I was a teacher. There's people watching me that didn't know I was a phys ed teacher. And now I'm teaching culinary and that I wasn't trained and that my wife's vegetarian. They're learning all these new things. They're seeing my kids.
But that's what I mean. You sleep in a bed of lies.
It's 100%.
Right? Because you don't come off as a teacher.
Okay,
right? You do.
I mean,
I don't know if there's a universe where that could be considered an insult, and I certainly didn't mean it that way. Right? Obviously, you beat the shit out of me. And you look like, when you film stuff in and around, particularly in the backyard, you look like you're somewhere down south. Like it looks like a barbecue type setup. By the way, and I said I wasn't going to curse. Fuck your backyard. So I can't tell you. I couldn't tell you if he has a blade of grass. I couldn't tell you the color of his house. I don't know. And I'm intimate. I've seen it a bunch of times. I think he has 2 dogs. I didn't see an ounce. Maybe there's dog
dogs.
shit everywhere, all over the place.
Assholes.
But his backyard, Ian. This ham and egger over here, this regular guy, the pizza oven that you got, he's got one of those, I think they're Brazilian. I believe it's one of those grills that kind of elevates with the side one that comes in on a swing arm.
The clamp,
Next to the green egg, next to the sink that, by the way, isn't like every asshole sink that's just filled with spider nests because he's actually using it. Next to the regular grill, next to every little toy that someone would want to do for outdoor cooking. It's sweet, like insane. Deer meat, man.
It's been a long time coming. But I mean that the prize piece of that entire kitchen is that Tagwood Argentinian grill.
Argentinian,
that Argentinian open fire with the clamp and the freaking crank, and I mean that thing is.
I've only seen him in the middle of restaurants. In his backyard.
Yep.
Regular guy. Jerk, right? Every other teacher is, and I'm still driving a 1988 Prius or whatever the hell it is.
Well, listen, I will formally invite you to the backyard cookout. Forget the tailgate because the ship sailed on that one. But I'll invite you to officially right now to the backyard tailgate, the backyard cook, where that entire kitchen will be on display. The home remodel, because we're doing the inside. So I have a brand new home inside kitchen. So we're going to open that shit up to everybody. Not everybody, select few VIPs.
By the way, he was trying to make me feel special. And he's like, I put up a flyer in the fire department, right? So everyone's going. Meanwhile, his kitchen, he's got more marble than the fucking Vatican in there. It's unbelievable. You did a very good job with it.
The wife did. She has a knack for design. She really does. She crushed it.
Okay, we're going to get into some real deal food, but I do not want to skip over the fact that on top of having a wife who you say is a principal now, so you have that background.
Was a principal.
Oh, was a principal?
Yeah.
Okay.
She bounced right during COVID, after COVID. So that's what brought us to Medford Lakes, where we live now. And she was doing it for 2 years, 2.5, and about halfway through the third year, she was coming home like, I don't think I can keep doing this.
Right.
She was on the phone till 10, 11 o'clock at night talking to bus drivers to see if Sally was sitting 6 feet from Johnny, because Johnny was at Grandmom's last weekend and Grandmom had COVID.
Right.
So she had to call the parents and tell him he was out for 12 days and
tracing.
Ruined his school year and got cursed at.
That's crazy.
She was like, so by the third time, and every time she came on, I was a gym teacher, right? Mm-hmm. She was the principal. Like, there's a pecking order there.
Sure.
So by the first couple times she came home saying it, I laughed at her. Mm-hmm. I was like, that's funny. I'm going to retire in a couple years and you're going to continue being the principal.
Obviously.
And I'll be able to do my thing. And then by the third time I had that like, oh shit moment where she looked me in the eyes, was like, I don't think I can keep doing this. And I was like, shit.
Right.
I was like, you're serious. I was like, all right, I'll quit. With the understanding that I'm going to go all in on this.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to bust my ass. I'm going to keep teaching, but I'm going to go hard on this social media thing. And she was like, because there was a lot of put your phone down,
Of course.
Put your phone down, play with the kids, do this, and that's something you guys know. You have to really seriously learn how to manage that.
How many hours a day are you on your phone?
I wasn't great at it.
I probably am on my phone, bro, from the time I wake up till the time I go to bed.
Yeah, I don't even want to.
So what's your average, do you think?
16, 17.
Yeah. What's your average, you think, a day?
I'm probably around 8 to 10.
Okay.
But that's with a full-time job and kids and a family. Like, that's, probably equates to about 18 for a single dude.
Last week I was 11. I averaged 11 hours a week. Yeah. 11 hours a day for that week.
Yeah. So we've all fought that battle.
So you have that same thing. All right, phones down and stuff. I say to my kids at the dinner table and, when we're out at restaurants particularly and stuff. So it is a different way of life. How old are the boys?
10 and 11.
Okay. And that's difficult age too.
And they're right there too with the not the social media stuff, but wanting to watch YouTube. And fortunately, they're crazy active. They're into all the sports. They'd rather be outside than inside.
And that's a rarity.
It's a blessing. You know? So as long as they keep trending in that direction, we won't have a problem.
What's the if you had to pigeonhole your cuisine, And I know you do cook everything, but what is it? What is it that you do better than anybody else in general?
I mean, I think I'm as simple and just I'm a meat and potatoes guy, man. Like that's if I had to pigeonhole it, that's what I would say. I would say if you want me to come and throw down the best thing that I absolutely can, it's like a meat and potatoes. It's charcoal. It's hardwood. It's flames. It's fire and smoke. Whether it's on a traditional offset smoker or an Argentinian grill, any kind of meat, fish. I mean, that friggin' clamp on that Argentinian grill, give me a whole side of salmon and let me hang it over an open fire and blow your balls off.
I'm just thinking about that now because if you were to just split and clean and press that fish in between those two grates, that's living, man.
It's insane.
I don't know what mine is. Like I spend a lot of time in the kitchen as well. And obviously I don't have any kind of specialty like you, but it's a different way to cook. Because I could tell you that if I was in my house making something and an Italian guy happened to be there and would have been like, hey, Large, listen, I think this is perfect. Why don't you just finish it with some lemon juice? And I think it's going to bring something out. I would love the tip. I would love a tip with that. But I will tell you, if I was outdoors grilling and somebody was to take over my grill, then I'm less of a man. Do you feel that way? Like if I come over and I'm like, get out of the way, I'm going to do some Argentinian. There's a nuance to that, isn't it?
I would never touch anyone's grill.
Yes.
And I would never allow anyone to come into my space when I'm grilling. Like that's not happening.
That's a cuck move.
That is not happening.
That is somebody I'd be like, listen, grab my wife before you grab this grill. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things. I think, and that's the culture of it. There's so many rules. I believe I was making ribs once on camera and I decided to take the membrane out.
Yeah.
And somebody said, oh, you took the membrane out? You're gay. I was like, okay, all righty.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, like I hear you. I just wanted to make like one of those McRibs type things so I didn't have the membrane in there. So how often do you pull the membrane off?
So I'll pull the membrane if I'm only cooking a couple racks.
Okay.
And if I'm smoking them, right? And I'll smoke them hot and fast. I do ribs hot and fast, 3 hours, boom, done. Like I don't sauce. I prefer a dry rub rib. If anything, maybe a little glaze. I have a real nice pickle juice, brown sugar glaze that I do.
Oh,
it's in
stop.
here.
So
it's in here, the Meat Teacher Cookbook, the ultimate backyard barbecue guide for an A+ in pit mastery.
Pickle juice and brown sugar glaze inside this. By the way, the title is almost as big as the book. But inside there is enough to buy the book itself. But also, don't you do dry rubs? Don't you sell dry rubs? What are they?
I do. Rubcity.com.
That's you.
Yep, that's me.
Okay. Yeah. And it's just a whole shitload of things, right?
We have about nine different rubs. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I have to assume, right? Because you didn't bring any. So I'm just busting you. But so when did that happen? Like I was talking to Cowboy last week or a couple of weeks ago, rather, excuse me. And I had mentioned how we had a musician in Quinn 92 who is just, his nickname was Mustard Mike or some bullshit like that. So he started like this mustard brand. He brought them in and we had a conversation with them and they were delicious. Yeah. The guy's like, you don't understand. I eat more mustard than anything else. Like he deserves to have that.
His own, yeah.
Cowboy had put like his name on something. He has a bunch of different products that he has. But where does that happen with you? Do you all of a sudden take off and people start to approach you and be like, listen, whatever your homemade rub is, just give us the secret sauce and we're going to put your name on it. We're going to package the shit with it.
Yeah. So a lot of creators, food influencers, barbecue people will put their name on an already existing brand, right? So say McCormick, right? Yeah. Huge spice company. Huge. They could reach out to you and be like, yo, Large, we want large chicken rub, and you'd be branded for you, but McCormick owns it. A lot of barbecue influencers were doing
Why was I chicken? Why did you demasculate me there too? Like he'd be like, for example.
Should have said beef.
Yeah, I'm the tri-tip rub. Ian, you're the bone and ribeye. Large, you're the miniature fucking Cornish hen rub. I'm not having a good time at all. I'm not having a good time at all. It's bullshit.
You came at me with the name of my book.
I apologize.
So I was getting, then there's other opportunities that come up where you are able to start your own rub company. And a ton have done it. A ton have been extremely successful. It's a very watered down, flooded market, right? You go into
everywhere.
Ace Hardware and you can't even
Every time at a hardware store.
I mean, if you're not Weber or Meat Church or, one of these huge companies, to make a dent and really make significant money it's a lot like books. Like I didn't write a book expecting to become a millionaire. I didn't start a rub company or buy into a rub company expecting to get rich. So, I mean, I was approached by a couple guys about 7 years ago and asked me, they'd already started a company. They had a couple rubs in the works and it was at a pretty good growth point of mine. And they asked if I would come in and if I ever thought about doing my own rubs. And I said, sure. And, we worked that out and here we are. So I'm part owner. There's now 2 of us, myself and my partner, and we're kind of running with it. So
any regrets? Anything that you're going to like, are you going to do mustards now?
No, I think so. I got the rubs. I am a small minority owner in a sauce company, barbecue sauce called Battle Tested barbecue sauce. And they have 2, a spicy and an original mesquite barbecue sauce, and goes to veterans, veteran owned company.
Are you a veteran?
I'm not.
Okay.
But the owner of Battle Tested is. My dad and my brother are. Okay. So a lot of what I've been able to do, and through all the growth and exposure I've had, I've done a lot, as much as I can with veterans. I'll actually be here the end of May for Rough Ride in the city.
I don't know Rough Ride.
I'm officially inviting you to come to Rough Ride.
What is Rough Ride? It sounds like a feat of strength. I can't do any of that.
So yes, you can. You could do it. If I did it, you could do it. There's Rough Ride Philly and we're doing Rough Ride New York this year. This is through Team Foster out of Philadelphia. Okay. Team Foster has now become national. Veteran Foundation run by my CEO, my friend Nick Learman, and they raise money for service dogs for veterans in need. So I've been working with them for about 10 years now. And they have 3 or 4 really big events every year, and Rough Ride is one of them. And it's a 24-hour spin bike marathon.
All right. We don't know each other at all.
But you build a team. No,
you can tell we don't know each other. I mean, unless Lance Armstrong is up next.
There's beer. There's beer.
It's worse.
There's a drum smoker. We're making ribs outside. Right. It was awesome. And we had a team. We had a team of like 15 guys, and you just cycle through. Sign up. You do maybe 30 minutes at a time, if that. 20 minutes.
I would be honored.
If you're a hard ass, you do. Honestly, you do 2 hours straight. So I would friggin' love if you came. We have a team. We got we're gonna have the Hungry Dogs team.
Can I come and watch?
Tailgate. You can come watch. You can come hang out and invite the whole friggin' office.
Good.
Because it's right here in New York.
Yeah, I'd love to support something like that.
I'll get you details when we leave. So
yeah, and I tell you, it does lend itself to like veteran stuff as well. Like I find that like sometimes I used to have a website in when I was on Wall Street, and it was called Take a Report, and I wasn't able to take any money from it because I was director at the company. And so everything that we did, we gave to wounded warriors. Yeah. And nothing felt better to me. And my wife and I do some charity work where we send checks and we don't know where it goes. Yeah. But to have those guys, particularly when they show up and, amputees and whatnot, and you're able to throw thousands in the jug, man, there's no better feeling in the world.
It's really cool. And rarely what's been a blessing for me, and this just happened a few months ago, is when you're able to support a cause. And I've seen it with Operation Smile, as we talked briefly. Yeah. And I've seen it with Team Foster, is when you get to be part of that foundation and you get to actually see the and be part of the end result of where that money goes. Right? Yeah. Rarely are you able to do that. You can give money to, there's so many worthy causes out there, but rarely do you directly see the result of that. And this is one of those. And I was reached out, and this is another power of social media, this crazy freaking world we live in. I get reached out to by a guy who saw me post something about Team Foster. David McDonald reaches out to me on DMs and Instagram, says he's a veteran, said he's first thanked me for doing what I do with Team Foster. And he's an Army vet, and he had applied for a service dog before, and the process didn't go very well. And then he also, as veterans, you would imagine they really don't think they're worthy of anything as far as help, because they'd rather, they're veterans. They can put their life on the line. They want to see other people get help. And he said, I've never thought about applying again because I just think there's other people that need it more than me. And I called bullshit on that and said, let me get you in touch with Team Foster, see what we can do. There's up to a 3-year waiting list.
Is it really?
To go through this process to be able to get a service dog for vets that are really in need.
Yeah.
And I set David up with Team Foster, and he became one of the fastest to get through the program. And 6 months later, I was able to go and watch his ceremony where he was, officially done with his dog and was getting on a plane to go back to Indiana.
Oh, wow.
With his dog. So I got to see him off and him graduate the program. And so to be able to see that process happen from inception to, from a cold DM saying, thanks for what you do, I'm a veteran, to then him walking out of a building with a fully trained dog that he needs, desperately was pretty friggin' cool.
Do you see enough of that? First of all, I'm not rushing to the next question by any stretch of imagination because I think that's a wonderful thing. But do you see enough of that? Because you have extremely positive page. I was trying to make that point too. As a teacher, as a father of 2 boys, as a married guy and all that stuff, there is you won't be dumping them out anytime soon, right? You hold yourself to a higher standard as a family man and a professional. But how much negativity do you run into? We had the sweetest guy in the world in Big John Fisher, that guy Bosch. You ever see that guy?
Yep.
And sometimes he shares his DMs with everyone. He shared a couple with me and some of the meanest people in the world trying to bring down the nicest person I've ever met. Like, you seem like a guy that I think is universally likable. Do you get a lot of negativity on top of those stolen moments where you can change a vet's life? Is there, for every one vet whose life you get to change, is there 1,000 throw yourself off the nearest bridge?
No.
Oh, good.
No, there isn't.
Because that's a community?
Yeah. I mean, I guess I think that's part of building a community, but I just never have had any real hardcore out of from left field bonehead that makes some stupid comment or anything like that. I've never gotten direct DMs that are as just mean and cruel hearted as some friends I have gotten. Yeah. Case in point, like you just mentioned.
Right.
I have a really, really close friend now that we, over the last couple years, Justin Holmes. And Justin has one of the most wholesome, friggin' awesome pages on social media. He's a dad. He's got 4 kids, I believe.
It's too many.
And I mean, crazy.
Yeah, it's irresponsible.
Oh my God. Crazy. Just the nicest dude ever. Has struggled with his weight his whole life. Has recently, over the course of the last year or so, lost over 100 pounds, looking great, cooking some good meals, does a lot of, just home cooking, dad stuff. He's awesome. Just such a good dude. The hate, the comments, the DMs that he gets sometimes that he shares with me, it's just like, Jesus, there's some freaking scumbags out there.
And it's uninvited. Like, he didn't do anything. One of our first guests here was a young lady who's in the adult film industry. Her name is Lisa Ann. You can pretend like you don't know who she is. But like, some of the stuff that she gets, I can almost understand. It's guys who are like, just send me a sock. Send me anything, couple of locks of hair from where we don't care. I don't even have to be yours.
Fart in a bottle.
Yeah, like I can kind of get that to a degree, but I just don't understand where and I'm very lucky too that I don't get a tremendous amount of it, but I don't have a huge following.
Yeah.
Like, I can imagine what Dave gets, and we've seen a lot of what Dave gets, and it's not pretty at all. 1987 kitchen utensils. Have you upgraded on any of that type of stuff?
No, and I
see
can't
this guy's
now.
videos.
I can't now.
Yeah,
they're becoming characters in the videos.
It's like the spoon my mom used to beat me with. Sorry, Mom. Is the spoon that he is stirring his cakes are and stuff like that.
The Corningware, like,
unbelievable. The plates
with the blue filigree around the outside. This is large. This is the story, real quick.
Go. Take your time.
Jackie Bradford is my colleague. We share a room. Jackie is 64 years old. Absolute sweetheart.
Oh, Miss Bradford. She's in the Bradford. Yeah.
So, but she tells it like it is. She's like the Gordon Ramsay of the high school culinary world. I can make her anything and she will find something wrong with it. And I love that. So she graduated from Washington Township High School, from the school we teach at. And I believe it was 1978, a year after I was born in 77. She graduated from there. And a couple years ago, when I first started there in culinary, she had told me, because we were planning with our administration, we were planning a whole remodel, breaking, busting up the walls, doing a whole new full commercial kitchen. Because you see in the video, you just see in the background of my videos, we're like, it literally is like a 1987 home ec room.
Yes.
Where you taught sewing and all that stuff, like when I was in high school. But we're going back even further. I mean, Jackie graduated from there, and she's told me multiple times that the room that you see me film in it looks exactly the same as when she was in school there.
Right.
You know, in the 80s. I
see it.
Like it's crazy. Or in the 70s when she was there. Just absolutely insane. So along with it came obviously some plates that have been there for a long, long time.
Yes.
The pot holders. Have you seen the pot holders?
Yes.
And it's out. It's so great. I can't get rid of them.
And if you do, it would be a shame.
Oh,
like if all of a sudden you go in there and you see, I don't even know some Williams and Sonoma, teak wood that you got to rub down with mineral oil. Then
get out of my
it's
kitchen.
an instant unfollow.
Doesn't belong
instant
here.
Unfollow for me.
But that goes to another part of building this community is I have never gotten. And I'll tell you, you can gauge the community you have by the number of genuine DMs and comments you get on your videos.
Yeah.
Not just, your boys putting a fire or a thumbs up or a muscle emoji just because they're lazy or don't really have anything to say. They just want to comment on your video for you to support you. Gauge it on the genuine comments and DMs you get, because with that the plates and everything that I post, the number of DMs I've gotten from people, mostly women, telling me the memories it's brought back, their grandparents, their grandmothers, like how awesome it was. It's crazy. And my following is much more female now. Like we were talking earlier, the 800 some odd thousand followers I've gained on Facebook in the last 4 months. My demo on Facebook was 70% men, because I was pretty much posting all meat all the time. I wasn't telling stories much. I wasn't, showing school or anything. My demographic is now shifted from 70% men to about 64% women.
Did you ever tempted to take your shirt off then?
I haven't yet.
You haven't?
I haven't.
Are you there, you think?
Maybe once I get rid of school. Once I retire, maybe.
All right, we're going to take a little break just to tell you guys about Jackpocket. Ordering lottery tickets has never been easier thanks to our partners at Jackpocket. Whether you like to order Powerball, Mega Millions, scratch-off tickets, you can order them all on the Jackpocket Lottery app. Jackpocket makes ordering tickets quick, simple, and secure. And here's the best part. If you're new to Jackpocket, they've got a special offer just for you foodies. Download the Jackpocket app, sign up using code TRYTHIS, TRYTHIS, and new customers who deposit $5 will get $10 in lottery credits instantly. That's right. You'll get $10 in credits instantly when you deposit $5 on Jackpocket, America's #1 lottery app. Listen, we do ads here all the time. I got to be honest. This is a no-brainer. Sign up for the app, deposit $5, get double that in lottery credit or whatever it is, and then go play the lottery. If you're playing the lottery every week, there's no reason you're not playing it with Jackpocket. So go sign up this week and use the code TRYTHIS to get $10 in lottery credits instantly when you deposit $5. That's Jackpocket. And now back to the meat teacher, Matt Groark. There's some guy on TikTok who chops wood. You ever see this guy? I think his name is Thorne.
Bradley Thorne. Yeah.
Thorne.
A good dude.
Yeah. Seems like a very nice guy, but I mean, half of his.
Yeah, he follows me.
Oh, does he really? What a flex. Have you seen this guy? He's absolutely gorgeous. And I don't know.
He's a stud.
Yeah,
He is a stud.
I watch his stuff with the sound off just so nobody can hear me.
So your wife doesn't hear it?
Because when he gets to the final part of it where it doesn't exactly blast through.
You ever watch one of his videos and he stares into it and you're like, you look away?
Yeah, exactly.
Because of the eye contact
because
you want to
when
avoid?
he stares at me, I'm pulling a membrane off. I'm like, fuck, I think I am gay. Are meat thermometers gay? How often do you use a meat thermometer? I like to ask people who work.
I love this question.
Okay.
I love it. There's a lot. You get the people that are like, oh, it's fucking stupid. What are you using that for? Just do this on your hand.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
This and make a muscle, and this is rare, and this is medium. Like, I get it. That's fine. Can I tell the temperature of a steak by touching it? Yes, I can.
Mm-hmm.
Why do that? And even risk the possibility of it being off or not exactly where you want it when you have digital thermometers that literally read the internal temperature in 0.3 seconds, in and out, done.
I've never used one in my life.
Yeah.
And every time I would use one, it's the same one. It's that spike with the big head on top of it, and you put it in and you wait to watch the thing go around. So I was not against them, but I just didn't use them. And then all of a sudden I got one for Christmas from my wife.
Yeah.
And I don't know the brand or anything, but to your point, I buy good cuts of meat for the most part, especially when I want to treat myself. Why take the chance?
Why?
I stick this thing in the side. It hooks up to my phone. My phone alerts me when it gets to 135 or something. It takes all the stuff out of it. I was wondering if there was a purist around there who's like, I would never be caught. I would never be caught.
There are.
You know? Yeah.
There are.
But they're idiots.
I bet, I think that it probably leans more, like my opinion on it, probably leans more towards the backyard barbecue dad, grill guy, tailgate type person.
Yeah.
Where your professionally trained chefs are probably just banging that shit out with a touch. Like they're probably not using.
And there's some uniformity, like their cuts are always the same from the same place. So they also have that 4.5 minutes on one side.
And the repetition, like they're banging out these professional chefs at restaurants, like steakhouses, they're banging out hundreds of steaks a day, like same cut, same, so for them to go down the line and just tap them, they have heat zones that are all, separate. So they know where to put the meat, and those guys have it down to a science. So I would think those guys would probably laugh at you.
Yes, probably was. There's a young lady that I follow too, I believe just on Instagram. Maybe she has an Australian accent. I don't know, but she's like a meat specialist. And she went out to
Jess Pryles.
Yeah, Jess.
Yeah.
She's awesome.
Yeah.
She's awesome. I think she went out to her grill the other day, and maybe this wasn't her. You can correct me if it wasn't. She tore apart biscuit, and she just put little pieces of biscuits on her grill, then closed the lid
to check the temperature,
and then open it up, and whatever was
the
raw.
Biscuit test.
The biscuit test. And I was like, that's kind of cool because if the ones that aren't cooked, you close it again. After a while, you just have a couple of biscuits. You pop them like nuggets.
And it lets you know your hot spots. Like no traditional offset, reverse flow, whatever type of smoker it is 100% even. You're never going to get 100% even cooking. You have hot zones.
Yeah.
And that biscuit test will tell you where they are.
Yeah.
The darker or lighter they are. Jess is amazing. Jess she has a master's or a doctorate in food science, meat science.
I've seen her
not just food science,
break down. Like she's broken down sides of beef, and she's talking about these major, minor muscles and stuff.
Jess is a powerhouse.
Yeah, she's the person, and apparently I want to have biscuits with her at some point, which is fine with me. Let's go from Jess to doing something disgraceful. When you sous vide a steak inside of a dishwasher, that also has happened before. Right? Like people have done that before. They cook on the blocks of engines. They'll throw a steak and all that stuff. That one kind of makes sense to me.
So the dishwasher one was done before me. I saw it from Guga, if you know Guga Foods.
No, I don't know.
Guga is one of these big time YouTubers. My boy Guga, Max the Meat Guy, all guys that I've been able to talk to and learn from, but they do a lot of like meat experiments.
Okay.
So Guga and Max, they'll like dry age a steak for a year in molasses.
Yeah, okay.
Crazy shit, crazy stuff. Dry age things for 2 years and then cook it and dry it. But Guga, I believe years ago had done one in a dishwasher and it worked.
Yeah. So his meat, he normally gets it from what farm do you get your meat from normally?
I get stuff from Porter Road. Is a good one. First Light Farms.
First Light
is another one. They do elk. A lot of the elk and stuff that I was cooking is First Light.
So it's already kind of vacuum packed, and so all you do is you just throw it into.
I threw that shit right in.
And were there dishes in there?
Which pissed people off.
It really does bring out the worst in people for that. So you throw it in there, you run it on high.
Yeah, it was empty. No soap or anything, and I just ran a cycle. And literally one dishwashing cycle nailed the temperature. I mean, it came out like I didn't fake it. I didn't like time it.
You didn't fake it because when it came out, it looked disgusting. Kind of like the corned ribs.
Right, like the ribs.
And and there's all this juice in the bag. I'm like, that juice left the steak. This thing is going to be something. So you did essentially the reverse sear on it, and it was good, right?
Turned out great.
I think I'm going to try it for some stupid reason.
So people are like in the comments flipping out, mainly not even because of the dishwasher. They were flipping out because I kept it in the actual plastic bag that the steak from the microplastic comments were through the roof.
Yeah.
It was out of control.
I got it once where I was making rice somewhere and I didn't wash my rice.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't wash my rice. And you got it. No, you poked fun at it with washing the chicken. You busted out a little bit of Dawn and stuff like that.
Always a good one.
I don't understand why people place such a premium on washing stuff before you cook it over high heat and kill just about everything but the flavor.
I don't understand it from our standpoint. Like, I think it's a very cultural thing. From a cultural standpoint, there's cultures that just wash their meat. It's just what they do. And that's fine. My issue with washing meat is more like, if I'm at home, Sally Homemaker is at home and she's washing her chicken and splattering, chicken juice all over her kitchen. That's the issue. It's different when from a cultural standpoint, they're not just washing with water. They're using vinegar and lemon juice and other things, acids to kill or just clean whatever it is. And let's be honest, like chicken is nasty as shit
100%
when it's raw. It's slimy. It's got film on it. Like I get it.
Yeah.
I just don't care. And I'm not risking, chicken juice all over my kitchen.
Especially the new kitchen.
Yeah. I mean, you've seen, right? If I did it, you get a blue light.
Yes.
You're friggin' have splatters everywhere.
So we don't wash do you wash your rice?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah. I haven't always. I mean, if I'm like really, I have time and I'm thinking and I'm like I'll wash it, but I don't cook rice a whole lot actually.
No, neither do I, but I've been guilted into it. So now I'm a rice washer right now. I almost didn't get that right. We know that you pull men brains.
Sometimes.
We know that you're a meat thermometer guy.
Open fire ribs, I keep the membrane on.
Okay.
So if I'm doing open fire, like if I put them in the clamp on the Argentinian grill, that membrane's staying on.
Okay.
Any cut of meat that you cook open fire, you want to keep a membrane on if it has it. Beef ribs, regular ribs, a vacío, any huge Argentinian cut of beef, you want to keep the membrane on because it gives you a layer of protection between the fire and the meat. Inside.
So would you say that goes for the silver skin too or no?
Keep it all on.
Keep it all on?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I got a lot to learn then.
Yeah. That's just open fire. That's
what's your least favorite cut of meat?
Filet mignon.
See what I'm saying?
Bullshit.
Yeah, it's for prostitutes and young women.
It's
it's for little girls and prostitutes.
It's the most overhyped food. I'll say food, not even just cut of meat. It's the most overhyped food in existence, and it's bullshit expensive. Like it's insane. It has no flavor, none, like no flavor.
Yeah, it's pretty.
It's okay. It's pretty, a nice big thick one, but zero flavor.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate it. We
were doing stuff and I wanted to do a sandwich of the month with it. I do a sandwich of the month. So I wound up bringing in like some of that Tony's Cajun Kick.
Yeah.
And I find like it's sort of like cooking tofu. It's whatever you put it with.
That's what it'll taste like.
It's great with rubs and stuff like that. Like a small rub. You don't want to overpower it. But otherwise,
you just put salt. You don't just put salt on a filet. Like it's just has no flavor.
Yeah.
It's bland. It has no fat at all. It's just not a good cut of meat. I mean, it's good quality, I guess, but I don't know. It's just bullshit.
What's the best cut of beef?
Man, God, there's so many. I love my favorite right now. I've been doing a lot of videos on like budget cuts or like butcher's secret type cuts.
Yeah.
And since we're talking filet, I'll give you the cut of steak that has 10 times the flavor of filet, almost as tender as filet, and a quarter of the price of filet is a petite tender. It's called.
I don't know this.
It's called a petite tender. So the petite tender is a small cut. It's about like this. The difficulty and why you've never heard of it is because it's never going to be in your grocery store. There's only 2 of them on a cow.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a butcher's secret. They would usually keep it for themselves, but it's about yay long. All right. I'm saying what, about 10 inches, maybe?
Yeah.
You wouldn't know.
My wife thinks that's 3.5 feet. Just so you know.
10 inches, and it's shaped like tubular.
Right. Yeah. So people are now watching this on YouTube. I've been trying to keep this above board, and he's like,
tubular.
Yeah.
Hogs and dogs.
Yeah. But it'd be something that you can fit in your mouth.
So it's tubular, but you cook it whole.
Okay.
Season it, salt, pepper. You could use a rub. Quick sear. It's round, so you kind of rotate it a few times, maybe 2 minutes each. Boom, 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 boom. Done. Slice it. Looks just like a filet. Flavor bomb.
Really?
Incredible flavor. It's called the petite tender. Yep. That's your cut.
I will tell you that if
I'll send you some. Porter Road has them. I'll send you some.
I will cook it expertly.
Yeah.
I will tell you that if I asked this question 10 years ago, I think a lot of people would say, maybe their worst cut is filet or something like that. And then automatically their best cut would be, a bone-in ribeye or a New York strip or this or that.
Like cop-out answer. Ribeye's obviously.
Yeah.
But
I think people have gotten to a point now where they're a little bit more educated, particularly on beef. So everyone's like, it's picanha. Picanha's it's got the best agent in all of the cow. So I'm glad that I'm seeing that. And then when I see stuff that I'm not familiar with, I'll go and I'll hunt that out. You know what I've never cooked either, which I'm dying to, is cheeks. I've never cooked a beef cheek.
Beef cheeks are so good.
And I'm having a tough time sourcing them up by me, but so maybe I'll go to one of your guys because it's
beef cheeks are
the best. I've had them out so many times. I'm a big tongue guy, like as we'd seen when we did the cats thing. I love tongue, and I think that it's an underrated cut. But I'm glad that people are getting away from just the traditional ones.
Yeah, ribeye is such an easy answer.
It's great. Yeah,
I've never been a huge fan of a strip steak, but ribeye I love. I mean, obviously that's probably my number one.
Mm-hmm.
But picanha is right there. Tri-tip is right there.
Yeah,
and I wasn't introduced to tri-tip until I got into this whole social media barbecue meat thing because it's such a West Coast cut of meat. You don't walk into Sam's Club or Costco and find tri-tip sitting around the East Coast here. But bavette steak, right? Like a bavette, fucking delicious.
Yeah.
Delicious. But Joe Schmo doesn't know what a bavette is.
Mm-hmm.
You're not walking into ShopRite and finding a bavette.
But more people than it used to be. So do you have a butcher who loves to see you coming? On top of going to these places that you had mentioned, is it one of those things where you go in, hey, Harry, and you just go in there and you just kind of, I got your stuff in and all that?
Yeah. So I have 2 that I go to pretty regularly. There's one where I teach and one where I live because there's about 45 minutes in between. So if
you
I
have
need
a 45-minute commute every day to school? Okay.
Yeah. So if I'm leaving school and I want to go pick something up, I use Trim Right. Trim Right Meats is right in Washington Township where I teach. And then there's a farm called Farm on the Point over near Medford, which is amazing, awesome quality meat. Danielle is the farmer. I have a good relationship with her. So, the couple times that I've gotten to cook for Jason Kelsey and Trey Turner and those guys and the Phillies at Casty's house. Long live Casty. I'll hit her up and say, hey, I got to feed the guys. I need some tomahawks. I need some bavettes. And I want to hit those guys with cuts that they're not used to.
Right.
You know what I mean? I want them to call me back.
Literally,
You know?
the stakes are high.
So yeah.
I think it is one of those things. Do you feel like cooking for people who are celebrities like that, do you have to dumb it down a little bit because of their palate? Like you could go in, I could come to your house tomorrow and you could make me testicle and I would eat it gladly knowing that what it is. But do you have to pull back on the throttle then when you're doing this in and around? Like people probably don't have maybe the greatest palates in the world?
So with Jason Kelsey's 2 years ago, you would think he's the most meat and potatoes guy you would know. He came to our tailgate. He came to the Hungry Dogs tailgate, home opener, 2 years Super Bowl year, for a Monday night game. And he came. We did a whole gator, and I was doing. I had some A5 Japanese Wagyu, and I had some toast points, and I grilled those, and then I did. I had caviar, and I did some egg. I forget the term, but it was almost you cured egg
the egg yolks. Yeah.
So the cured egg
still
yolk,
jammy, right?
Yeah, real good, almost like cheese. So I had the cured egg yolk. So I did like a creme fraiche on the toast with the Wagyu, with the caviar, with the shaved.
Oh, you shaved the egg yolk, so they cured all the way through, like a batarga almost, but like with the chicken. I got it.
So I used a grater and grated over top, and I'm feeding Jason Kelsey this little. Oh, there you go. I can crush like 4 of them,
Right.
But what I found out about the Phillies guys, in addition to just being down to earth dudes, like baseball guys are different. They just want to hang out and eat. They're they just want the protein. They just want the steak. So, I mean, I made sure I brought elk. I brought a bunch of different cuts of elk tenderloin, elk ribs, elk, I loaded them up on elk. And then I had a bunch of high end big cuts, from, my friends at Rastelli's, who were in Swedesboro. Rastelli Meats, my good buddy, TJ. Very smart man, married into the family. He was a police officer, married into the family, quit his job on the streets, and now he's working with Rastelli. Shout out TJ.
Yeah.
So he
shout out TJ.
He's the butcher that he's not a butcher, but he's the one I have on speed dial for a lot of the events that I do. You know, if it's last minute, because the Phillies aren't calling me with a month notice. You know? So there's times that I got to source meat in 2 days. So Rastelli sets me up for that.
Elk is a recurring thing with you.
So goddamn good.
Is it?
So good. And First Light, man, they're in New Zealand. It's all sourced. And I mean, it's such a lean cut, but with such good flavor. It's sweet. It's like I enjoy it. I just don't have it quite as often. Well, certainly not as often as you. I could probably say I've had elk maybe less than a dozen times in my life. Yeah. So I agree with you. It's a great meat, but you just don't see it around quite as much. Got a couple in here.
Did you? Right at the cookbook?
Yeah.
The Meat Teacher Cookbook, the ultimate backyard barbecue guide for an A+ in pit mastery by Matt Groark. If you wanted to go and pick this up, you can obviously get it on Amazon or any place where fine books with long titles are sold. I'm going to stop.
That's how you type it in. You type book with long title, and it comes up on Amazon.
Can you do me a favor? I've never asked anybody to be part of my my whistleblowership with this, but can you blow the lid off the chicken industry and tell everybody what a chicken wing used to be versus what they serve you now as a chicken wing? Do you remember when you used to go to particularly a Chinese restaurant and order chicken wings, and it was always a flat plus a drum? And that was a chicken wing.
Oh, okay.
That's a wing to me.
Yeah.
Always was growing up. And I don't know when the inflection point was in our society where now Ian can sit down and order a dozen wings.
And say he ate 12 wings.
Yes.
When he didn't.
When he didn't, you ate 6 tops.
Yeah.
Like when did that happen, and how the fuck did they how the hell did they get away with it,
right?
Yeah.
I mean,
are you going into the book? There it is. Oh, that's the pickle glaze.
And it's whole.
Yeah, absolutely. With the tip still on too. Yep. With the chicken ankle still attached. As I like to call it, the tip is the ankle.
Smoked pickle glazed chicken wings. Those are whole wings.
Yeah. We've been bamboozled, haven't we?
So I mean, I think it's got to be a cost thing.
It has to be.
I would think. I mean, if I had to really guess, I mean, it has to be a bottom line. The only reason they're changing it is if they're making money off it.
I can't believe that there's more outrage towards so many other things than there is about cutting our chicken consumption in half.
Well, now you have people coming in asking for just flats.
Yeah, I know.
Like,
There's
that's
a
a
lot
thing.
of it. Yeah.
As we're going, my son, my 10-year-old is friggin' going to PJ Willihan's asking for just flats, and I'm ready to.
That's
I'm
tough.
like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's my fault because flats are superior, and he knows it. Good parenting.
Yeah.
But I also invented the meat umbrella, which went viral on Barstool years ago.
Yeah.
That was my coming out.
So the bean umbrella, when you push down onto a flat everything comes through, then you grab the two bones and then it's gone.
No, it's one hand and it comes down. It's like a little meat umbrella and you just pound it with one hand. So the whole point, and people miss this every time they miss it because they're like, no, just take your two hands and twist it and pull and it comes out. Then both your hands are dirty.
Right.
If you're not drinking a beer when you're eating wings, you're doing it wrong. So I want to always keep a clean hand. So the meat umbrella is born from just eating wings with one hand, turning a flat essentially into a drum of sorts.
Beautiful.
And eating it that way. So that's when I did it. I did it in my kitchen. It was a 9-second video. 12
Barstool
hours later,
up?
Barstool hit me up and it went crazy. And that was a huge.
When was that?
Huge jump. God, if I had to look back, that was probably 6 years ago.
Really?
Something like that. Yeah, it's crazy.
I was around the same time that I was competing in the National Buffalo Wing Festival in Buffalo, New York on Labor Day every year in the Buffalo Bison Stadium. And I was in the amateur division. I took second in the Buffalo Wing eating contest.
That's impressive.
And the reason I took second is a gentleman beside me, you can see this on YouTube, threw up in the middle of it. And where a lot of other people stopped, because I'm an athlete. So I went like that and I just powered through. So you're saying the one-handed thing. I was blocking myself from vomit on this side while I'm going to town on that side.
It didn't drop your numbers.
No,
you
absolutely
just kept
not.
Powering through.
How about pork chops? Talk to me about pork chops because I think that, everyone asks me, what is this the year of? Like, remember when everyone was doing donuts? Everyone constantly tries to do cupcakes. Charcuterie boards were off the charts for that 2 years and stuff like that. I really think that pork chops now at this time it used to be thin, fried, applesauce, shake and bake, that type of thing. I order pork chops has to be the second most protein that I order in most restaurants right now. I love a pork chop.
If I go to a restaurant and there's two things on a menu that if I see it, I order it. And it's not even a question. If I see rack of lamb, I'm usually getting it. Or a double cut pork chop.
Pork chop.
Like nice, thick, double cut pork chop. Can't beat it.
Yeah.
Highly underrated. But then I think a pork loin is insanely underrated. I think people are afraid of it.
Because it dries
I don't
out.
think it's because they don't like it. I think it's because so many people overcook it because they're afraid.
We grew up to be
it.
afraid of undercooked pork.
People think that pink in pork is a bad thing, and it's not. It can still have some pink in it and still be at temp.
That's not the way Miss Bradford and I were.
Miss Bradford would raise hell. Yeah.
And that's what I mean. And so now that I'm free of that, free of the chains of the Mrs. Bradfords and stuff, it 100%. That's why I was so disappointed that when you did that series of like cuts of meat that I love, pork chop didn't make it till episode 16.
Yeah,
it's
it went
downright
a little while,
disrespectful.
Right? It did get on there though. It did get on there.
16.
But I will tell you though, and you can fact check this.
I will.
Go back to episode 1.
Okay.
At no point did I say there was an order.
Okay.
In rankings. It was not a ranking. It was simply a list.
Okay.
And I made that known in the very first episode.
And Large doesn't have any legs to stand on here because some of his favorite restaurants he's yet to do a video review at, like Keen's Chop House.
Yeah, I would say this too. Like when you start doing, and I know that you're not a food reviewer type guy, and that's a slippery slope as well. It does stop you from going to your old favorites because you're always trying to try something new for Instagram and stuff. So I would say to you, Ian, if you got a chance to shut the fuck up, because the way that he disrespected pork chops is why I brought it. No, I'm just
it should, even though it wasn't a ranking, it should have popped in my head earlier.
Now I got to go to Keen's.
Look, pork chops, veal chop.
Yeah.
Oh, good God.
Yeah.
My first episode on Next Level Chef, the second season, we were on the top floor And that platform came down and we got the first choice because we were randomly put on the top floor. And when that came down, I sprinted because I'm an athletic specimen. And I was the first one there. I was the first one at the platform. And veal chop was the first thing I saw. This big freaking 2.5, 3 inch thick veal chop.
Right.
I didn't even look anywhere else.
Right.
I didn't even look anywhere else.
Yeah, it's a pristine cut of meat. When you think about cooking shows like that, are there any that jump out as you as being better than the others? Because on top of talking to influencers, which we've been lucky enough to do, and it kind of begets, it's a small community.
Mm-hmm.
Like there are very few people on the outside looking in that everyone hates.
Yeah.
But it's the same thing with the Food Network. Like once we had Zimmern on, I think
Zimmerman's
that
awesome.
And then we had Conan on, and then we had Jeff Morrow on, and Chef Greeny on, and all these guys. I love them all, and I love all the shows. But there's anything that's like particularly resonates with you as being something that you're almost jealous that you didn't come up with yourself, or something that you find infectious and you can't stop watching.
From a concept standpoint,
I think so. Or just like when you sit down, I can always watch Beat Bobby Flay.
Yeah.
Like I think that Beat Bobby Flay has a evergreen nature to it, and Bobby's personality is perfect because you can hate him or love him. He's a guy that you want to root against sometimes or root for. Mm-hmm. So I think that's the perfect thing. Diners, Drive-ins, and Dives is another one. Yeah. If I'm in a hotel and there's a marathon of it, it's great to have on in the background. Is there anything that's like affected you as far as, oh man, that's where I learned to cook from, or something that you find to be better than the rest?
So I would say one of my favorite, and it's not even competition. We don't even have to like you just named Diners, Drive-ins, and Dives, right? Yeah. That's not a competition show. Mm-hmm. It's hard to find really, really good food shows anymore that aren't competition. Right. I almost feel like there's too much competition food TV out there now. Everything is a competition show.
Same thing here, Barstool. Right? I mean, all they try to do is show how stupid you are or how weak you are. Yeah. So get on a bench press and then tell me what's the capital of this country. And you're like, I can't do either. Yeah, fuck these guys.
But one of the shows that I religiously watch and still go back to and watch on Netflix is shout out Netflix, right?
Yeah, why not?
Is Somebody Feed Phil.
Oh, yeah, he's great.
So longest running show in Netflix history, because Netflix just doesn't renew shows year after year after year.
Right.
And Phil has grown a following and, a show that just talk about evergreen. Like he just travels the world and goes and finds incredible cooks, incredible chefs, small, big, whatever they are, and just highlights the food, and not just the food, but the story. And that's at the end of the day, what this whole social media thing we do now is people are tuning in for as much of the cookies and cakes and steaks and whatever else it is I cook, but they're tuning in almost more for the story and the family, and to check in and see how you're doing. Right. And, I think that's what Phil had with Somebody Feed Phil is, when his father passed away, it was like everybody lost Max. Yeah. He would end the show with a joke, and every episode would end with a joke from Max. And, it's just a super special show in the food space. I
agree. I would tell you, I follow a young lady on TikTok, perhaps. And I never followed her when she was just taking pictures of herself in clubs or something. Yeah. But she used to do a segment, what my 94-year-old grandfather makes for lunch. And he's this French guy, just this little French guy. And he goes out to his garden and he snips some fresh thyme. Then he comes in and makes it. And I haven't seen it pop up on my feed for a while. I'm afraid to click on it because I don't want to see the post. Yeah. Grandpa may have passed. And listen, he's probably, I hope to God he's alive and well. Honestly, I'm not doing anything like that. That's weird. But
now that you're talking about it and your phone is in shouting reach, it's going to pop up on your feed.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you're going to freak out. You're going to be like, that's friggin' weird.
Yeah. How are you preparing your kids for that? Like, you're a guy who's online, right? Like, you're telling me with a full-time job, sometimes you're averaging 8 hours a day on your phone and stuff. How are you going to police that with your kids? Because there's a very, very good chance that they're going to have careers and lifestyles and lives that are outside of what you're doing.
Yeah. I think with the whole phone social media thing, even with my students at the high school.
Yeah, that's probably a better question.
I try to, my Adric and Nash are in it, man. Adric's been asking for a phone for
what age do you give
years
it to
now. I don't know. He's 11. A lot of his friends have them.
We went 10.
He has a Gab phone right now. And it does everything. He can communicate with us. He can call, he can text his friends.
Right.
There's just no apps or social media on it, right? Or internet on it. So, I mean, that's been doing the job now. Again, thankfully, they're active and they're out and about. So he hasn't been crying about it too much, but it's going to come.
Because Snapchat seems to be what drives where these kids go and all that kind of stuff. And I did the same thing. We got our kids I think they were called crickets at the time.
Yeah.
Where it's just certain things. And it also had pre-programmed in things, come pick me up and all that stuff. And it can only go to 10 people.
At one push of a button.
Yeah. But I think every year it gets earlier and earlier.
Yeah, it is.
So you're going to be giving it to kids for their.
If we got them both iPhones right now, they'd shit their pants.
Oh,
they would be over the moon.
Yeah,
they'd be stoked.
Where do you see this going?
But I think I think with my high school students in Adric and Nash, I really go back to the other question. I don't feel like I answered it.
Go ahead.
I think I just try to push. You hear so much negativity about social media, especially in a school environment that I'm in every day. It's just put your phone down, put your phone away, pick your head up, stop looking at your phone. They get hammered with so much negativity that I try to, with the platform I have, I try to be at least an example of how much good can come out of, because I tell my kids, there's no way you're on your phone more than me. I'm your teacher, the one telling you to put your phone away. Mm-hmm. And there's no way you're on your phone more than me. There's no way you're more dependent on your phone than I am.
Right.
Because I'm paying a mortgage with it. That's, it's my job. Mm-hmm. So I try to show them, even as someone teaching culinary, you don't even have to be, I'm not your culinary teacher for you to become a chef. If you're into the food service business or chef business, you could do other things. You could make a blog. You could do a vlog. You could go all in on social media. You could do all these things. There's a lot more than just, being a chef, in the culinary world anymore. And I think there's a lot more good with phones and social media and even AI than these kids are being hammered home about, So I try to at least be a little bit of a positive voice as far as phones go, because they just get hammered.
They do all the time. And I find myself doing it with the kids too. And I'm as big of a hypocrite because I'm on it a lot. But again, it's because of my business.
It's your business.
I hate it. X has turned into an absolute cesspool, even though that's where most of the majority of my followers are. And the rest of them, kind of waver somewhat. I got to figure out if I can get back on Facebook, because that seems to be what I'm missing.
You're on Facebook.
No, but you know what I mean? Interacting and doing stuff like that. I don't even know how to log in.
I'll help you out.
Okay.
Yeah, get that taken care of.
Listen, by the way, I give Ian a lot of shit. There's no way that you can do this without having somebody who knows what the hell they're doing.
Oh, yeah.
I do tell that to people too. If you think that you can make 10 videos a month and, with some, you are so behind. When we were doing one restaurant review a week, Ian's like, can we get this up to 3? I was like, I think I'll die. So we came into 2, and I'm starting to feel bad about 2.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's that continuity of it that changes, because every now and again, if one of them's a stinker, we got a banger coming up. You know what I mean? There's something to do with that. I wouldn't recommend this type of industry for most people, because it's weird. You know what I mean?
It's weird. It's tough. I mean, I get asked all the time, how do you do it? How do you teach full time and have kids and a wife and a family and travel and go place and all this stuff? And I'm like, I've just been on cruise control for 8 years. I feel like I edit with the app on my phone. I film with mostly my phone or the little Pocket 3. And I have a mic that's Bluetooth hooks up for sound. I mean, that's all I do. And I don't even do voiceovers anymore, because I talk to the camera now,
right?
Which has been a huge shift. There's a big difference between doing a voiceover in a video and people watching that and feeling some kind of connection.
Yeah.
As opposed to you looking at the camera and talking to them and saying, here, you're in my kitchen with me.
We have so many restrictions though with music and whatnot.
Yeah.
So whenever we go to a restaurant, if Ian does go up and say, hey, can we turn this down? But if you're in a bustling restaurant, you don't want to, but unfortunately we do get to show our voices on this. Like it's a nice compliment to the other thing. If you were to have me over the house on Saturday, so you don't have a ton of time to prepare, what would be the meal that you would make me that would knock my socks off? And again, we don't know each other before today, but you kind of know that I eat, right? So what would be the meal that would impress the shit out of me?
So I'd probably go from inside outside. I would do a double team you with that.
Not the first time.
Come from both directions.
Here you go.
I'd hit you with an inside little meal and hit outside too. I think I don't know how you feel about them, but I love scallops.
Oh, so do I.
And like a perfectly seared scallop,
nothing like it,
with some spinach on a bed of spinach or broccoli raw. Not even broccoli raw. I like spinach with scallops. As like a little appetizer. Nice little 5 scallop appetizer, beautifully seared. Stainless steel. Pan.
Screaming pan.
Oh my God.
Almost like you almost didn't want it to hit it. It's right over.
And you sear one side and you flip it and it's done.
Yeah.
Like that's it. Baste it a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd freaking.
What do we do? Butter and soy?
Oh yeah. It's easy. Probably just butter. I mean, brown butter.
Yeah.
I try to use brown butter in everything. Like I friggin' love brown butter.
Oh yeah. I can tell you. I was drinking this last week with Taffer, the brown butter bourbon.
Oh, is this? So this is a new thing. This is becoming like a viral.
He's not the first person to fat wash bourbon. But
this is like, there's a couple restaurants I've been to have had it. They've made their own.
Yeah.
Really good.
That smells good, doesn't it?
Smells great.
So yeah, brown butter is an aphrodisiac for me as well.
Love brown butter.
Yeah.
So I do maybe let's call them brown butter scallops.
Got it.
And then outside, you've brought up ribs a couple times. So I'd probably make those pickle glaze ribs because
I think I'm going to make them too.
Those are incredible. And the glaze is so simple. So simple. But I think I'd have to hit you with the petite tender because you'd have to try that.
I can't wait.
And I don't care how many people will comment when you post a tomahawk that you're wasting money because you're paying for the bone. There's nothing better than a friggin' tomahawk.
It's a good feeling.
Like cooked over an open fire. Flip. That's a Jess Pryles method. It's called just keep flipping, right? So you're not even reverse searing it. We're just doing it over hardwood and Kingsford charcoal, flipping, and slice that up for you. And you have to do a compound butter. Oh, and the whole time the steak's flipping, I got a butter brush of thyme and rosemary that I'm beating the shit out of that steak
1987,
with, right? Almost like APL. You follow Adam Perry Lang?
I don't think so.
Oh shit, that's a follow. Follow APL, Adam Perry Lang. That's his thing. The friggin' herb brush.
Really?
Hitting it with the herb brush, and then we do a compound butter on top of that. Probably do like a cowboy butter.
Okay.
On top for you.
Are we gonna outside of the little bit of spinach that I'm gonna have alongside? No. Do we place any type of thing on any vegetable or anything like that? Why would we bother, right?
But for what? It's just taking up space.
That's exactly what it is.
You got a 45-ounce tomahawk to eat.
Right, I got to get through that fucking
it with
thing.
Broccoli.
What's one of these things now? Because I think, as you say, that you're pivoting and you're doing a lot of stuff in your home, and it's showing more of your personality and more of your life, really. Whether you're doing it in the school kitchen or in your home kitchen, and you're doing these hacks. I do get hooked on those, but I'm always like the Parmesan cheese rind hack. I can't do because my Parmesan rinds are near and dear to my heart because I do use them in a lot of sauces.
For stocks and sauces.
Always, yeah. And I love, and so much so when I pull them out of sauce, I scrape off the cheese.
And they're not cheap.
No, they're certainly not. And
it's not cheap.
I went from being somebody that was very selective on buying Parmesan wheels, not wheels, but I didn't want to spend all my money on the rind. Right. You know, like you want more cheese and rind. So, but what's one of those hacks that you think that I should try? What's one that actually works? Can you think of one offhand? I don't follow this APL guy, but now I'm about to.
Oh, Adam Perry Lang is an absolute stud.
He's followed by everybody that I follow too.
Absolute
which is awesome.
Stud.
Okay.
You're welcome.
There it is.
Yeah, you're welcome. That's good.
What's a hack?
Oh, shit. What's a hack? A food hack.
because can I ask you one, and then if you don't have one offhand, can I ask you one and you tell me whether or not it was worthwhile?
Yeah, go ahead.
The ricotta cheese cookies.
Oh, they were incredible.
They were.
Turned out really good.
So Ian, like we try to do these simple type things. He was like, we have a 2 ingredient, possibly 3 if you want to zhuzh it up. And it was ricotta cheese and I don't know,
cake mix.
Any simple vanilla cake mix. I think he had a couple of dashes of vanilla.
Almond extract.
Oh, almond extract. That's right. And I think the next time you were going to do it with something a little bit different.
So lemon. I posted it on the train coming here. So there's
a lemon ricotta.
I just posted it. Yeah.
And that's something except it looks.
The lemon was better.
Was it?
But it's more of a cake cookie. Like it's not real cookie consistency. It's like, once it's baked, it's very cakey,
right?
In consistency, it's not crunchy. It's a soft cake-like cookie, but delicious.
Yeah,
but delicious.
See me screwing with that.
But if there's one that you're going to do, and really the only hacks I've done have been around sweets and the eggs that I did with adding mayo.
Oh, the mayo one.
You tried the mayo. You tried the mayo eggs. How do you feel about mayo?
Was it Jose Andres?
How do you feel about mayo?
How do I feel about mayo?
Yeah.
I feel very strongly about mayo.
In a good way?
Yes.
Okay.
Are you against mayo?
I friggin' love mayo.
So I have 3 in my fridge right now, Duke's, Hellman's, and Kewpie.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm a very strong mayo guy.
Big
and
supporter.
I got to be honest.
There's not enough mayo supporters out there.
If you're going to name some of the biggest, I agree. A lot of people get turned off by it. But if you're going to name like the 3 biggest, I don't know, condiments in the world, I'd go mayo, mustard, ketchup.
Yeah.
I'd probably put it in, maybe not that order, but I'd probably put it in that order of mayo, mustard, ketchup being the last. Yeah. Mustard can jump because I love mustard.
Ketchup's weird.
It is.
Ketchup's weird. I have more of an issue with ketchup than anyone would have with mayo. Like people's issue with mayo is like the smell and all that. I'm like, I have more issues with ketchup than I do.
What's your issue with ketchup? What's your beef with ketchup?
It's just, I'm just not, ketchup's like, are you 7?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like it's for 7-year-olds, 6-year-olds. Like, that's it. The only time you're really ever using ketchup in a meaningful way is if you're making barbecue sauce, I would think. Like,
I like
but even
ketchup
then,
on an egg sandwich.
I don't even like ketchup-based barbecue sauces.
Oh, you don't?
Not really, no. I mean, I have one in here, but it's not my favorite.
Hypocrite.
You know,
I would
like
say
a vinegar base.
So I love a vinegar. So is that Kansas City?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I would say that ketchup for me is on bacon, egg, and cheese, salt, pepper, ketchup. Yeah. And I never eat ketchup cold. Mm-hmm. No cold ketchup ever. And also if I'm at like a bowling alley or someplace that serves fries, if they have the ketchup bottle with the very small opening and you sort of do one of those on it, I kind of like that.
But even then, if there's mayo, I'm mixing mayo with my ketchup.
Yeah, 100%.
Like I'm mixing all 3 of those.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah.
And making, a little burger sauce.
I'm trying to think now, though, when you say a vinegar-based sauce, Alabama white sauce.
I love Alabama white.
Right. If we go back to the mayo part of it.
And I love a mustard-based sauce, too.
I love mustard-based sauce. Yeah. There's very few
Alabama
things.
white's so good.
Yeah.
It's so good.
When my son started going to Tuscaloosa, started going to University of Alabama.
Yeah.
And because I used to make my own version of it, and I used to call it the old racist, because I picture some guy in Alabama saying, I love barbecue sauce except for one thing. Like, you know what I mean? So then when I go there and it's in all these restaurants, God, I love it so much. And it can make mediocre barbecue more than mediocre. Yeah. So I'm a big fan of it. I ask the same questions of everybody before they leave. I'm about to do it now. How far into this are we?
An hour 30.
An hour 30. Nice. So is that okay with you?
Yeah,
Do you need to get out of here or anything like that?
I'm golden.
All right.
Good.
So first question I'm going to ask you is your go-to fast food order, because we haven't mentioned fast food, either drunk or sober, whatever you want to give me your fast food order.
Taco Bell.
Taco Bell guy.
Taco Bell's clutch.
Okay.
Doritos Locos.
Uh-huh.
Doritos Locos tacos. The nacho, not the ranch.
Nacho Bell
I don't even know if
Grande?
they do the ranch anymore.
I don't know.
Doritos Locos.
Yeah.
No, the Doritos Locos tacos, the 3-pack, three taco meal. Those Cinnabon bites.
Yeah.
Order a 12-pack of those.
Easy.
Take them down before I even touch the tacos. And chalupa is back. Mm-hmm. So I'm getting a chalupa as my fourth.
Obviously, yeah.
How do you not?
Yeah.
So yeah, Taco Bell's the late night
I mean, it's one of the only fast food places that doesn't make me feel that ill afterwards.
Yeah.
Which some people feel the exact opposite about, but it is what it is.
I feel like I can knock out that meal, and the only thing that would maybe make me feel a certain way would be the fact that I ate 12 Cinnabon.
That's where you get it,
because there's so much cream and sugar, and
for a meat guy, you do have a big sweet tooth.
Huge.
Yeah, I could see that.
Huge sweet tooth.
From the content.
Yeah.
You've been sort of letting your freak sweet tooth flag fly lately, too.
That's why it's been so, like, the transition has just been flawless.
Right.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I blame my dad. I mean, my dad growing up, I grew up in a frat house, essentially. Okay. My mom left when I was 12, and my older brother was in the service, and my sister was out and about, gallivanting, whatever. So it was pretty much me, my dad, and my younger brother. And we had a revolving door. It was like, my dad worked until he was up at 6 a.m. and worked until 6 or 7 at night. So we just, it was, he would come home, he would call us from his car phone, in his Buick Century ragtop. And he'd be like, what do you guys want? And he'd stop. He'd be like, it was either dinner for my entire childhood from the time I was 12 until I was in my early 20s was Chick-fil-A or not even Chick-fil-A, KFC, Boston Market, pizza, or Chinese food. And it was essentially a running clock of just that. No one.
No, but I mean,
I didn't have this like, you could sit here with 50 other food influencers who do what I do.
Yes.
Women or men. And their story to that question will be, my mom or my grandmom, or I was tugging on her apron, watching her cook. Oh, it was so beautiful. Yeah. And, mine's the opposite. My mom didn't cook, not until she left. And then all of a sudden it's like, wow, she learned how to cook.
She cooked for the other family.
When I decided to visit her again as an adult, like, she suddenly became a good cook, which was crazy. So I grew up on fast food, man. My desire to want to really go full speed into food and cooking, and not just the barbecue thing, but I'm so excited for this kitchen in the house because I want to learn how to make sauces. I want to learn. It's the great part about teaching culinary is I'm learning as much as I'm teaching every day. So I can be at school and just, I want to learn how to make a voulet. I'm going to go ahead and start figuring out, Google it and start playing with it.
But there usually is some, like, I was speaking with people, I was talking about Justin Wilson, who was a Cajun cook, a guy who hasn't had a good, the Frugal Gourmet. I didn't know about this, but apparently the Frugal Gourmet has done some pretty shady shit. That's why he's all. But all those places, because my mom was a very good cook for someone who came from Ireland, and growing up in Brooklyn, there were so many Italian cooks. Like, other people's moms would send over like stuffed artichokes and stuff. So that's where I kind of got jealous of it. And once the Food Network came along, sort of gave me the tools. Yeah, I was laid off, and my wife was the breadwinner for a year. Best year of my life.
Oh, that was a rock.
Awesome. And we just bought a new house that had a chef's kitchen in it. People before us were chefs. And that's what turned me into what I think I am today, a cook. So it's funny that you don't have that one person who kind of set it off.
There was never anyone at my house cooking. My dad could make a mean BLT.
Okay.
And I'll tell you, one night he came home, he was like, BLTs? Because me and my brother, miserable teenagers, sitting watching TV in the evening. And my dad would get home, he'd poke his head in. Hey, guys, I had a great day. Thanks.
Oh, right.
Assholes, yeah. And he'd be like, BLTs? And we're like, yeah, BLTs. So BLTs, 3 BLTs. My dad would go in. No lettuce, no tomato in the house.
It's bacon sandwiches.
We had bacon sandwiches with mayo.
Yeah.
Bacon sandwiches with mayo and white bread.
By the way.
Banging.
I would.
It was banging. Yeah. We didn't hate it.
You don't know, but you're sitting within 7 feet of one of the biggest grilled cheese enthusiasts on the East Coast. Ian's a big grilled cheese guy. And I could tell you one of my go-to sandwiches. We have a guy who works here, Captain Cons, who's actually on the show a couple of times.
Veteran.
He's a vet. Yeah.
All right. We want to bring him to Rough Ride.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Cat, he runs Bold
You
American.
have 3 veterans. Cat, too.
Yes.
Cat's a vet.
Yep.
Kate out in Chicago.
Event. Yep.
Kate
and then
Chaps.
Chaps is a vet.
Yeah. I don't know. Do we have any others?
Those are the 3.
Those are the 3 guys.
I had them on lock. I had them.
Yes.
Yep. And glad that came up.
And Cons was over my house once. Like, he came by unannounced. And so he was sitting down and we were just kind of hanging out. I was like, anybody hungry? no, he was down at at the beach house. And so he came down because he kind of lives down there. He came in. I was like, anybody hungry? And, Annie was like, I can eat cons, a couple people. So I went in and I made BLTs. Like I just happened to buy like a loaf of sourdough that day. And I'm telling you, when you do a BLT, right?
With top 3 sandwich.
In history, it's one of the top three sandwiches. And you can mess around with it and call it a blat and add some avocado, do whatever the hell you want to it. But that, by the way, is one of the questions I'm going to ask you in a little bit. That could be a Tim Duncan for me. So you go to fast food order is going to be Taco Bell, which I respect. How do you take your eggs?
Over easy.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the
more
crispy
on the
thing?
Probably medium rare side.
Okay. Like a runny yolk.
Yeah.
You just want to see the
very
whites.
runny, yeah.
When you order a pizza, toppings or no?
No.
Okay, you're regular.
Just go cheese, yeah.
And then are you one of those guys that does, I know you say you're a medium rare guy.
Yep.
Do you gravitate toward everybody else who sits in the seat? I asked them if they gravitate towards medium for cuts with a little bit more fat. I'm like, because ribeyes now, people are ordering medium just to render out in steakhouses, not at home.
Yeah.
Are you one of those guys that gravitates towards rare for certain things?
I'll go more rare than anything. I don't think I've ever. It's been decades since I've had anything over medium rare.
Okay,
and
that's a flex. That's a manly thing. You carry a pocket knife?
Not on me because I was coming in here. I didn't know what security would be like, but usually I have a Benchmade pocket knife on.
I carry a pocket knife on me. I assume that you'd have one. Mine looks like something that you open envelopes with.
Yeah,
I'm assuming yours you can cut a fucking cow in half.
All right, we got to get you a Benchmade.
Yeah. So you don't ever eat your steak no matter what the
black and blue.
Really?
I'll go black and blue.
Just walking by a candle.
I can love it.
Okay.
Well, it's got to be black though. Okay. Like really, really.
Got to get it on there.
High heat on the end.
One of the things I was going to start.
Style.
Yeah, I was going to start asking people the greatest snack that they were ever made as a kid. Like my mom would make like certain snacks. I'm not going to ask you because I don't know if your mom do you have any snack from your childhood that comes back to you as being something very fun?
Yeah, it wasn't like made. I'll give this to my mom. Cinnamon toast.
Okay.
Just cinnamon toast.
Cinnamon sugar with buttered toast.
Cinnamon sugar, buttered toast. White bread in a toaster. Can't friggin' beat it.
No. And you can't screw it up.
So good.
Yeah. What's the Tim Duncan of foods for you? Not flashy, but always operates at a very high level. BLT was a good answer, but you can't go back to that well. I need another one. Yeah.
Can't go back to BLT.
Yeah, I ruined it.
How about apple pie?
Apple pie is just, By the way, this is, I feel like this is a very American podcast, right? Like I'm feeling kind of patriotic and stuff with this. Like we're talking, we've mentioned baseball, right? Do you drive a Chevy? Because that was it for the whole thing. Yeah, so Chevy. Yeah. Let's go see some NASCAR. Fuck this. Is there an overrated food? Do you think people are convinced that they like, but it's not very good?
I'm not going to go back to filet,
right?
Because that would be the answer. Fucking avocado toast.
It's not it for you. I like what comes on avocado toast outside the avocado. Lardons and bacon or something like that.
I mean that. I just think I think avocado toast had its day and people were all hype about it. And I don't think you hear about it as much anymore. I don't think people are posting videos about it anymore. It's been done every which way it could possibly be done. It's kind of jumped the shark. I think people are realizing it's not really as good as it initially seemed to be. I like avocados. It's not that I don't like avocados. Just keep them on tacos.
Is there a food you won't try?
No.
Okay.
No.
Anything. I could take you to the most exotic sushi restaurant and have you do you'll try anything once.
I'll eat anything. Okay. I had sweetbreads for the first time.
I love sweetbreads.
Yeah.
I've spilt more sweetbreads in my life than you've eaten. That's why my gout's so bad.
Really?
I'm starting to itch right now just talking about sweetbreads. Yeah. Give me a fucking pancreas. Do you cook them or did you order them?
So I cooked them.
Okay.
Yeah, at the open fire meetup in Texas. We did them straight over the fire. Didn't soak them. I heard soaking in milk.
I've never cooked them. I've only had them outside.
But I mean, I cooked them with a couple Argentinians that know their shit.
Yeah.
And they turned out good. There were a couple pieces that were bigger and had a little too much chew to them, but we were on a time crunch, so I got them done pretty quick. But man, they were good. They were tasty. Squeeze a lemon, a lot of lemon.
That's all it needs.
It was friggin'. They were really, really good.
I'm making sweetbreads with a couple Argentinians, right?
That was at the open fire meetup, man. With
this guy's life.
Al Fragoni. You know, I follow Al Fragoni.
Yeah. If you could recommend one restaurant anywhere in the world, to me, if you could recommend one restaurant anywhere in the world, what would it be? And what am I ordering when I get there?
Can I name two?
Yeah, you can name as many as you want.
All right.
2 is probably my limit.
I already talked about one, APL. Yeah, go to APL. That's in Venice, California.
Okay.
He does Adam Perry Lang.
APL barbecue.
Yeah.
And gin rummy bar.
Yep. It's insane.
Okay.
You'll binge his videos later tonight. How about let's go to Philly. Fiorella, Mark Vetri.
So
pasta.
I know of that. I have never been there.
Phenomenal.
Okay.
Incredible. Gnocchi. Incredible.
Off the
That's
charts.
what I would order. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Fiorella's phenomenal.
What meal do you wish you can get back? Maybe it's from your childhood. Maybe it was served at a restaurant that no longer exists. Or maybe your taste buds have changed so much that you don't think you'd enjoy it, but was special when you used to have it. What meal you wish you can get back?
So my nan passed when she was 87. She was the one consistent woman in my life that would come with food. You know, I knew when we were going over Nan's house, she Upper Darby, grew up in Upper Darby, Philly. We'd go to her house for holidays. Dinner was always at her place. She made corn fritters.
Oh.
She'd be in the kitchen making corn fritters. And me and my dad would sneak in. We'd get the wooden spoon on the hand as we snuck them, you know, pop 3-4 of them when we first get there. Incredible. I have to this day tried to replicate her recipe and haven't been able to do it. So if anyone out there has a banging corn fritter recipe, DM it to me. I'd love to keep trying. But she would come over and make Salisbury steak.
Oh, really?
Onions, mushrooms, like the TV dinner style.
Uh-huh.
And I wish I could get that back.
Ian, have you ever had a Salisbury steak?
No.
Is that crazy?
It's a throwback.
It was a staple for a long time. I'm not shitting on you because of that. I just think that it's not around as much as it used to be.
So perfect answer for this question.
Once a week.
Steak.
We used to do Salisbury steaks once a week.
When my nan would come over, she would make Salisbury steak. Yep.
I'm going to make a Salisbury steak in honor of your nan. I'm not going anywhere near the corn fritters because I don't think that I'd be able to do them justice.
Yeah, I haven't been able to.
But man, with a buttery mashed potato that's almost can't even hold its structure.
3 things we would get when my nan would come and stay. She would stay for 3-4 days at a time. And we would get Salisbury steak. We would get a very traditional, delicious beef stew and apple pie. Her apple pie was insane.
Really?
Insane. I would add that, even though I said apple pie earlier. I would get back the apple pie because it had that like sugary, crunchy crust.
Right.
Like it was her apple pie.
It's crazy. I'm allergic to apples.
Oh God! What do they do to you?
My mom makes apple pie. It like in my ears and the back of my throat starts to swell up. It's not going to kill me. So cooked apples are better. It's mainly the skins. But my mom made apple pie. I was so afraid to eat them. I used to scrape the apples off, just leave some of the syrupy type stuff around it, and then I'd throw the ice cream inside and just eat the crust.
There you go.
So I'm not the apple pie connoisseur that you think I would, but I can tell you, Ian has a palate that has grown exponentially since we started doing this show. Yeah. But I'm not sure what he'd like and what he wouldn't like. I am positive that a Salisbury steak you'd go crazy for. It's
home run.
Yeah, it's a home run, especially if it's made correctly.
Yeah.
It's an absolute home run.
It's a banger.
All right, so I'm trying to think about I'm going to ask you for your death row meal, and I'm trying to be respectful and thinking why you're on death row. And I don't think it's a rage killing. I'm not sure what you did to get there, but it could be, right? Because you're a teacher. You could be at the end of your rope. Let's go rage killing. And so some parent comes in and that's it. You just off them. So you're leaving this mortal coil tomorrow. You're spinning off. There's nothing you can do. It's about to go right into the arm. Lethal injection for you. What's your death row meal?
Whew. I'm probably doing surf and turf.
Mm-hmm. What part of the lobster? Because I saw you split lobsters and put them on the grill the other day. I've never done that. I've always kind of killed them on their back, finished them on their belly. Still do the stab thing, right? But I usually kill them on their back, finish them on their belly, never split the lobster just because I thought you might lose too much of that essence. But now I think I'm going to grill my lobsters, split them, and then grill them open side down.
Yeah, it works really well.
Yeah.
And they cook fast because you don't need that long. But I'm going to do a surf and turf, but I'm going to do it with, I'm going to have a tomahawk. I will scream from the hilltops on tomahawks and how much I love them.
Okay.
And they're worth every penny. I got to have a tomahawk with some garlic herb butter, compound butter, a lot of it. And, but my turf or my surf is going to be lobster, but I'm gonna do the whole lobster. I'll half it. I want it grilled, and then I'm gonna take that and put it over pasta because I gotta have some pasta before you die. The death row meal. Yeah. So I'll do like a pasta dish with the lobster and probably like a tomato sauce with put some veg in there.
How are you with heat?
Not too good.
Okay, because we used to get the Angry Lobster at Filipante's on the West Side Highway way back in the day, and I'm telling you, elite dish.
I can do spice when it's just up to that point where where there's still flavor to it.
Right.
Once the spice starts hurting, like I'm out.
It was a pleasure sitting down with you. I'm kind of jealous of your lifestyle. Please give my best to your wife, particularly because we were talking about her on this thing, and obviously to the boys. But I'm going to mention again the book, if you don't mind. The Meat Teacher Cookbook, The Ultimate Backyard Barbecue Guide for an A+ in Pit Mastery. On top of that, it's, what did you say? It's Rub
City.
Rub City.
It used to be Rub Love. Originally, it was Rub Love, #Love Your Meat.
Ooh.
We still have the #Love Your Meat, but Rub Love was a little too close to another name apparently. And we got served papers. I think so, had to change it.
It's too close to rubbing his racing, to be quite honest with you. But follow him everywhere that you follow anyone on social media. I'm assuming if you're following me, you already have him in there already. So maybe give me another follow. It was an absolute pleasure. We'll do something again.
Sounds good,
right?
Large.
Yeah,
I'd love to come here and throw down for the whole crew, man. Awesome.
Would you?
Let's do it.
How would I do that? Ian, can we write this down? How can I what do I do here? How can I get?
Do you guys have like any grill space or anywhere you could?
It's the problem is that ventilation. Like we've done stuff.
There's nothing outside. Like you wouldn't be. There's no like back alley.
I'm wondering if there's a roof.
Yeah.
Like I'm wondering if there's a rooftop.
We could go to Stu Finer's house.
Oh yeah, we could go to Stu Finer. Do you know Stu Finer?
Stu?
Yeah.
Is he close to here?
No, he's in Long Island. Do you know Stu though, right?
No.
Oh, I'm going to say, if you're going to have me follow APL, you got to follow Stu Finer, the source. He's my guy.
All right.
And he's absolutely out of his mind. He's made $44 million giving out betting picks.
Yeah.
And he spent 45. He's everything he does, he's put into something.
All right, so we'll meet everybody up in Long Island then.
Yeah. No, I don't know if I can bring you out to Long Island, but I would like to finagle a way in which I can get you in front of an open flame.
Maybe we go uninvited to one of the tailgates.
Or you just
at the link.
Or you just come to my house. You come to the backyard.
Yeah, maybe I'll do that.
Yeah.
I mean, if you were cool with it, maybe we should go down there one day and just do that Argentinian grill.
Yeah.
And we'll do a piece of content down there.
Yeah.
Bring Manoli or something, just kind of shoot it.
Look, I have two asshole dogs that dig holes. So as soon as the weather breaks, I'm getting turf in the whole backyard.
Are you really going to turf it?
I'm turfing it, man.
The
dogs are brutal.
That's a G move. By the way, I was saying that's a G move, and G means gangster, right? But when I was saying it, I said, that's a Jew move. That's the most anti-Semitic thing I could say, because I'm thinking, how problematic is that? Like Jewish people don't cut their lawns or something like that.
I was wondering if I heard you.
G. Yeah, you were wondering too. Yeah. You're like, is Large really making this stand now? Holy shit.
The very end of the podcast.
That's a G move. And do not edit that shit out. But I mean,
all the hardscape, like the beautiful hardscaping, tracking mud and stuff all over the place.
I agree with you 100%.
One of my former students did all the work. Like,
oh, did he really?
It was pretty cool. Yeah.
Oh, that's very, very cool.
So former player, student, started, has an awesome company, and he came and did all the hardscaping. He'll do the turf, and do
you want to, when we get down there and you're doing the cooking, we were talking about how the female following has jumped up. Do you want to do it shirtless and we'll do that OnlyPants thing?
That would be awesome.
Right? OnlyPants. And we just have good-looking people like me and you and Ian come by and we just kind of...
I got aprons for you.
Perfect. That's all we're going to need.
Shirtless with an apron.
I think that this was absolutely lovely. I hope you guys enjoyed this as well. This is You Got to Try This. 5-star reviews anywhere you're watching this or listening to this. Drop a comment underneath the review and we'll try to get to it. But otherwise, we appreciate your guys' continued support. And I appreciate you coming up here. As first guy, I was like, I'll take the train after school and come and fucking do this thing with you. And I'm glad that you did, man. It's an absolute pleasure.
Appreciate it, Lord.
All right, so that was Matt Groark. Ian, invite that guy back every time. I'm telling you, this isn't somebody. Oh, a grill guy is the guy who put me in touch with him. So I just reached out with him on a random day. He came up. That guy was absolutely lovely. I'm hoping to do more stuff with him as time goes on. So we appreciate you guys tuning in. What do we got? You got something?
Groark from New Jersey. Last thing before we go, because this did pop up later in the week. This story about New Jersey Girl Scouts selling Girl Scout cookies outside of a dispensary.
I love this story. Oh shit, I love this story. So they got in trouble for it, right? So there's a dispensary on every other corner in the tri-state area now. I've never been in a dispensary except for once out in Denver. And I was expecting them to sell me the shit that, killed Elvis, but they didn't. So I haven't been to dispensaries, but obviously they do a lot of business with guys who enjoy the flower, right? And these girls got in trouble for selling the Girl Scout cookies out to where people would traditionally get the munchies. I believe that's what either Shaq or Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning was, remember when he went to the Broncos for a little bit while he was out there and he knew that Denver was on the cusp of making weed legal. I think Peyton Manning went out and bought a bunch of Little Caesars out in Denver, knowing that there would be a bunch of people that got the munchies. So I respect these girls' hustle. And this reminded me when I was in Little League, we had to sell something called, I think they were called World Famous bars. They were chocolate bars that were wrapped in foil, then a white band around them. And they came in like almond and regular and maybe something else. But World's Finest, I think they were. They came in this cardboard box with a handle, and you'd go around and you'd be selling them, to benefit your baseball team. You had to sell so many of them. And I used to sell them outside the OTB. And it was the same exact thing. If somebody came out and they were a winner, if you just were playing the ponies and you hit a superfecta or something like that, and you had $400 that you just hit, and you walking out and you seen some fat-faced, bowl-cut kid like me being like, hey, you want to buy a chocolate bar? Sure, kid. They were like Diamond Jim. How many you got? And they'd peel off $20, $30, $40, $50, which was a lot back then.
For the listeners out there, the
OTB, off-track betting. Oh, okay. Wow. I'm so fucking old. So there wasn't any kind of mobile platform to bet on horses or anything like that. So you had to go to these OTBs. Off-track betting places. They would simulcast the races and obviously be able to bet on ponies in just about any track in the United States. So the people there were just, for the most part, degenerate horse gamblers. And I was trying to capitalize on that addiction to gambling to sell my chocolate bars in the same way these Girl Scouts are trying to capitalize on what I won't necessarily call it addiction, but obviously a little bit of a vice to sell their wares. And I'm 100% on board. I think it would be meaner if they were outside of Weight Watchers doing it, because these men and women who are in there who are starving out of their fucking minds would have a moment of weakness and kind of break out. But if you come out of a dispensary and you wind up buying 16 boxes of tag-alongs, it's a victimless crime. It's a victimless crime. Even if you're high as a kite, you're like, I don't even like tag-alongs. All right. So we wrapped up Jersey. We wrapped up Matt Groark. So everything worked out well. You know what we didn't do? I didn't tell people that we have coming down the pipe one of my favorite people in the world in Hannah Dasher. And Hannah now has been watching the show since she had signed up to come on here. Every now and again, she sends me a nice little Southern message like, see you next week, Haas, and stuff like that. I'm really looking forward to seeing Hannah. I'm also going to have Big Mo on. Big Mo is this big, handsome dude who's an announcer for a lot of the Jake Paul fights. I've done some stuff with him at Bare Knuckle. He's going to be in town. So just randomly, he's going to come into the office and talk with us. And we got a couple of other people coming down the pipe. So consistently refilling with great guests. You guys just need to continue to listen, subscribe, send in your questions underneath any kind of 5-star review, and we'll keep this thing rolling for as long as we can. And we'll see you next week on You Gotta Try This.